are live. Hopefully everything technically works just fine. As we jump into the new 2024 new year with the continuation of our party with the episode number 131 in the tale of the Power Rangers. And like we do always, there always needs a bit of a recap, both for me and for my dear players, about what happened last year. Yes, what happened in our campaign in the last episode. We had a bit of a break for a month, I think. So, yeah. In the last episode, our beloved Power Rangers, they were on an airship somewhere in the middle of the Bay of Denver. So if you look in the stream, this is where this bay is, and the ship that was transferring interesting goods was going to Engard across the canal, and they appeared on this ship chasing for Bob. They have captured the Bob, had a conversation with him. That was episode earlier. But in our latest episode, they decided to do something with the cargo of the ship, and that triggered Captain to do some drastic measures. So the Captain pulled the trigger on the safety mechanism, and that started to rapidly accelerate. And yeah, the party was in stress trying to figure out what to do, as they soon started to feel the lack of air. Some of them almost losing consciousness and doing some really weird decision, even more weird than usual. So yeah, that was quite a trouble they didn't expect. The Captain jumped overboard, not to be caught and seen again. So what happened with him is worth to check. Maybe it's part of a different story. But the crew, the Power Rangers, including their assistant characters, they have tried to fix the steering wheel, the steering mechanism of the airship, abandoning the ship that was soon to lose its power. Meanwhile, from your support crew, only Jackson and Gaki is still. Okay. I hope this works.
Yeah, I can feel like 20 eyeballs staring at me right now. Pairs of eyeballs.
Just don't look back. Don't look back.
I don't get the reference, I'm sorry.
Just, Well, yes, so as our party find themselves flying on the Celestial Steed, they soon saw the archipelago of islands that was there in the distance, where they decided to crash land. They anyway couldn't stay in the air for long because the steed could be summoned only for 1 hour. And they were in the middle of the canal, the channel, the Bay of Denver. And as you landed, as you were landing on one of the islands, you realized that there was a statue standing there on one of the beaches, and you decided to use this as a landmark for your landing. This is where Farvald has forwarded his steed, and as you landed on this glorious, pure, nice tropical paradise beach, there was only a statue resembling a giant face. It's probably 3-4 meters high. That was standing there all alone in tranquility and peace. You couldn't see any steps on the beach. You couldn't see any signs of human or any other humanoid's presence, except for this clearly artificially erected and brought to this place statue. I think to remind you, I'm gonna scroll a bit up in our maps and lore channel for you to recall how it looked like. It looked like this. I think 2 pictures up if you open maps and lore. Yep. Okay, very well, very well. Thank you everybody who joined as a party of Power Rangers. Just going through a recap. Well, and as you were trying to figure out if you are alone there, and as Farvel's steed has returned back to his plane of existence, I think it was Sas who was the most observant from you all, who noticed a head just appearing from the level of a sea and starting to observe you all. And as he pointed it to all of you, then you can see one more and one more head appearing above the water. And as they were raising up, soon there were dozens of them. You were soon facing a dozen of Tritons that have emerged from the waters. You have seen them before, and they do look like on the picture that I've sent afterwards. So that's the next picture in a Maps and Lore channel. And as they were emerging from the water, this is how we ended our last episode. So yeah, thank you for recap. We have Rafe, Sas, and Polo, and support characters of Farvelt, Jackson, and Gaki, who are standing behind the main members of the glorious Power Rangers.
We're frontline, great.
Well, yes. So as you observe them emerging, they are kind of... the first thing you can see is that it's not a random pattern that they just randomly appear from the water. Rather, they are appearing in this corner shape. And in the very pinnacle of the corner is a Triton, which looks the following way. I'm gonna send you a picture in Maps and Lore channel. I see, we have some extra content appearing in our Maps and Lore channel. Thank you, Sas. Thank you. I mean, well, I cannot control the imagination of my players. Well, I hope it just works along. Well, you only can see the top part of their bodies. That's what I can say. Yep, and the guy who is seemingly in charge is looking the following way. Very distinct Triton features. The top of his head, you are not sure if that's how big is his head or it's a helmet of a kind. And I would like Rave for me to... and Farvelt, so I think I will be rolling for Farvelt today, to roll for perception or history, your choice.
History. Then I roll for history. Yeah, 23.
Well, Farvelt was too slow, as Rave has realized she has seen this character twice in her life.
Twice already.
Twice. In this campaign.
Yeah.
And the first time you saw him grabbing you by your hand as you were sneaking through the cargo hold of Concordia ship of Duvalieron's son. He didn't give any sounds. He didn't ask for anything. Rather, you could see this resolve to escape. Yes.
Him, right?
You just...
It was really dark.
Yeah, it was really dark, and it was just a weird hand that grabbed you, and you kind of backed off from it and decided to continue on your own business. But the next moment, when you corresponded this hand to his face, was as you were waiting for Paulo upon destruction of the Concordia ship, floating in the water and hoping that your halfling friend gets out of there in one piece, as you haven't seen him after the explosion. You saw him briefly getting out of the ship and escaping. So that was exactly the guy who was there in the cell on the ship of Duvalier and Son. So Rafe, you were the first-hand witness of that. So, and with your perfect roll, yeah, you recognize him. They are slowly emerging and approaching the shore. It's approximately, I would say, 30 meters. Let's do feet. Maybe like 70 feet distance from the front line of the party. So everyone is in range for everything. Everyone can see and hear and talk. So yeah, everything in there. Meanwhile, the whole area surrounding you is still quiet, silent, and tranquil.
Fireball. No. I don't play Monarchs today.
Rafe, you muted. Yeah, okay.
Wait, since I recognize this guy, did he show any reaction on his face that might suggest that he recognized me or hates me or is surprised to see me?
As you are observing his body language, he is in charge of this formation they're holding, and you do not see any change in his face reaction or body. He is aware of your presence, and he is not openly hostile, but actually ready to do anything. He's a warrior. He looks like a warrior. He holds a spear, a trident in his hand.
Okay.
Would you like to speak first, or would you like to do?
Oh, to do what? Yes.
Or
I
you
would
wait?
like to do something.
Oh,
Okay, Paulo, go ahead.
Polo wants to use the time to use Vigilant Blessing on himself. And also he would use, that would require like a bonus action, Steady Aim. And Ready Action to shoot a crossbow. Just in case.
Well,
He's never seen these people. It's a bit scary, they just come out of the water.
You need to give me a
Like-
precise description when your ready action would trigger.
Okay, so he's not going to openly point it at someone.
Okay.
But use the Steady Aim and like once he sees hostile action towards the party.
Okay. Sas,
Harmful action.
what have you learned before in university, in your monk studies about the Tritons? What is your opinion of them? What does sword tell you?
Heretics. They're
Friends.
heretics.
They're friends.
Yes, we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Friends of heretics.
Doesn't mean they're not heretics.
Come on, you're not a paladin.
I live on a mountain. They live under the sea, so we are the quite opposite. From a different.
Yeah, it's even more interesting. You can learn about water, which is not your field, right? So...
we shouldn't trust them. I'm gonna get near Rafe, and I don't.
You are standing next to Rafe. You're like a.
Fish net. I'm opening a fish net.
Oh my god, I'm
To
gonna
prepare.
try to speak. I'm gonna try to
Roll for insult.
telepathically. No.
Roll
I
for
want to
insult,
send a
yes?
message.
Yes.
I want
Oh,
to send
fish.
a message telepathically to Sas. Don't do anything. Let's just talk to them. They are okay if we're not touching anything here.
Okay, then I'm gonna plant a trap, a hunter's trap, on the sand.
you just drop like thing in front of you. Okay. Compare trap.
Like,
They-
pretending they're like animals, like they don't.
They will
know
consider it
trap.
as you are like nervous and things are falling out of your hands.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm. Yeah. Brave?
What-
Yeah. Okay.
Brave?
You're speaking first. Okay.
Rafe, if you wanna,
No,
see,
no,
you
no,
see,
I'm
you
waiting,
see
I'm waiting.
you hear this clang of metal falling in front of you, and how this like almost a jump happens on Gaki, who stands behind you, unsure what's happening. What do you do, Rafe?
No, I'm not gonna attack anybody. I'm just maybe gonna
Do the hands?
try to start speaking. Oh, greetings. I'm sorry that we're here. We don't want to attack anybody. We don't even know where we are. We're very sorry if this is your land. We're just going somewhere and our ship just sunk and we ended up here. We're from distant shores and we just wanna leave this place. We're sorry if we're like doing something that you might not like here. We just wanna leave. We just want to go to Valon Kingdom. But yeah, just I'll stop and I'll wait to see their reaction.
You notice that as you're starting to speak, at first they were kind of like unsure about your intentions, but as you continue talking in peaceful, you're talking in common, so that's language is well understood by them. You see that the man who is standing in front, he is making his first few steps on a shore, and you realize that he is quite capable of walking on solid surfaces, no problems. And as you are speaking, he is giving a command to his men, and everybody else still stays in the water. So he's kind of alone walking on this shore now towards you. As he makes a couple more steps, he is saying, "You are currently on the lands of Sacred Beach of the City of Clans. Please step away from the monument. This is not the time or place, neither for bloodshed nor for any other troublemaking, especially in the time of mourning for our people."
What time is it for
Step
us?
away.
Mourning. Mourn.
Okay. Ah, okay.
To cry about something, to be sad about something.
Yeah, okay.
So, yes. What do you say? How did you appear here? You realize, Rave, that his speaking in common is kind of rusty. He is definitely unused to speak it a lot. Comprehensible, way better than orcs, but just rusty.
Yeah, we just sunk and yes, we're just gonna move away from here. Do you have maybe some limits that we should move away from so that we can maybe speak?
He's using his trident and kind of like just pointing you like aside from the monument. Just.
So I'll just point to everyone. Let's move a little bit. Come on. Like doing this phase of don't do anything, please. Yeah.
What about the trap in front of the holy monument where no bloodshed can ever happen?
The trap stays.
Should we take it? We can still take it with us.
Can you cancel it? I don't know.
Wait, did Polo notice the trap?
Of course, everybody heard it clinking and falling down to the sand.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not stupid.
Polo makes like some gestures to Sus, like, take it.
I'm like, yes, like the ship. Boom, boom, we fall. Yes, friends. Hello.
Oh yeah, you're speaking like.
Guys, you think they speak common?
He's like looking at you, and then he points his trident in the direction where you last saw the crash landing into the waters of the airship. Are you talking about that one?
Captain Gavin, red captain with horns. Bad captain. Captain crashed our ship.
Not every captain, we learned, is worth its name and the ship name.
Oh, okay. I see that they can communicate. I'll pick up the trap.
Our sea friends have reported to us that there was an accident nearby. And as he looks at all of you, you see from behind, one person makes another step from his formation. And from the looks of it, it looks like a female Triton. She has way longer hair. And she also doesn't carry a weapon. From all of them, she doesn't have a weapon. And she speaks in common and says, "You drylanders.
No,
we..."
The mother was a driver.
We were here first. Our land now.
No, we don't say that. We don't say that, right?
No.
Or does Sus say that?
No, Sas knows.
I'm saying it to Rafe.
Don't.
Come on, we're not gonna listen to them. There's some fishes telling us what to do.
Let's see what she has to say.
Yes.
You drylanders. If you swear on your mother's name that you possess and carry no ill intentions towards the city of clans and its inhabitants, we may assist you and spare your lives.
And spare.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's not a way to enter negotiations.
We're not gonna start like
next?
analyzing
We're gonna
the way
pay
they
them?
phrase things. Like, yeah, come on, they're not even real government. So,
Maybe let's try brutal honesty. Like
what?
Like the following, which Polo says.
No, don't mean. You're gonna ruin it.
We got a subscriber. Usa101 is a follower. Thank you very much for joining, and hope you stay along for the ride. As a Tale of Our Rangers is just on the episode number 131. It's a long-term campaign. Yes, and
Immersion,
thank you.
yeah, immersion.
Thank you very much. We currently have an encounter of the party on one of the tropical islands in the Bay of Denver. You can see it in the world map. And they have encountered a tribe, or at least a group from the tribe of Tritons, with whom they try to negotiate peacefully for now, which is unusual for our party. Yes. Feel free to ask any questions, stay along, and yeah, happy to chat about D&D, about the campaign in general. Thank you very much for the follow. Well, yes, you notice how this female-looking Triton, she is kind of waving a hand, and Couple of warriors standing next to her. They are lowering the tridents down. Polo, you were trying to say something, correct?
I said something.
Can you please repeat? I think we got Polo in that moment.
Oh, like no. After this one thing Polo said that kind of became in peace, we didn't know about the city and all of that. We don't mean to disrespect. There was nothing else. Did you get that part?
Yeah, and the pirates.
Okay.
Treason.
Yeah. That was all. That was all.
Yes. It's not. You see how the leader of the group, he's taking the word back. It's not the first time when we encounter those who were left by destiny or fate ashore on our islands. Some of those, they just happy to stay alive. Many of those are opportunists and trying to find everything to their benefit. And only a few actually can be trusted. I hope in these hard times for our people, you will be from the third category. My name is Toman van Redlak, and he makes a short bow. And I would like to know who am I speaking to. Are you the captain? He addresses Rafe.
Of the party, sure. Yeah, we're the Power Rangers. I mean, we would never deny our names.
Okay, so please say who you are.
My name's Brave. Here are my team. Party members. We're just adventurers. Yeah, traveling around, getting to know new worlds.
Well,
yeah, seeing the world in different means, and the water wasn't that we were not so lucky in the water one, but yeah, we just need to go somewhere else to go back to our path. Yeah.
Sometimes the tides can be too hard to handle, and they will not let you to get to your destination. It says, yes, we currently, I'm a member of a ruling family of the city of Clans, but most of the city is underwater, and access there is strictly limited, of course. So unless you have a very specific business and any needs, you can address it to me now. Other than that, as long as you keep away from the monument, we might try to get you back to the shores and wish you farewell.
Sure. May I ask, though, if anything out of the ordinary has happened lately in these lands? Because we come from far away, right? And different territories have seen the disappearance of people and weird lights, and yes.
Well, there was a massive hunt happening. Hunt by the Drylanders all over the bay. After one of the champions of the deep, Triton, who recently set himself free. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
What do you mean, set free? And who are you referring to? Who was bound? By whom?
The coral sea dragon. Such a majestic, powerful, ancient, and wise creature has been done a great harm, has been bound to one master, and managed to break free. His rage was relentless. However, the great hunt that was organized by the Drylanders brought him down. It's a great tragedy for our people when such majestic and ancient creature becomes just a prey. Our city is currently mourning it for another month. We've heard that
So
its skull is displayed in the port of Denver.
Who do you think would be so powerful to bind such a creature? By which means?
Well, just a moment. I think Paula, I have your camera stacked in the control room. I cannot see your face.
I can see
It's
my
fine
face.
on the. It's still fine on the stream, but not good on this. I will
Okay.
reload. Let's see if anything breaks. Okay. Okay, everything works for me. Nothing changed. Very good. Okay, perfect. What was the question again, please? Now try it again. I muted you.
Who could bind such a powerful creature, and by which means? I sound like a broken record.
Well, the magic is not my field of expertise, but I believe those that are looking forward to power and using others to be on their front line would always find the means to tame. Even the ancient dragons are not safe from that.
So you did.
As how this happened, I do not know. I only know that it brought nothing but misery to Friator himself. And I can understand his rage. I wasn't Cell myself. I was ready to kill anybody on sight.
Wait, Polo has not seen neither the Triton nor the dragon.
When Polo was on a ship, yeah, you were with Bob on a different part of a ship. So you never encountered the prison cells. Only Rafe saw them.
Polo only heard of what happened. He never saw neither the Triton nor the dragon. All right.
Yeah, that's
Not his
true.
call.
So is it true that they have displayed a skull in the city of Denver?
That we heard about, but we would never go and see such awful thing.
Ah! He is saying something in the language you do not understand. Yes, a couple more of Tritons coming to the shore, and they are lining back in the same formation behind him, however with their weapons lowered than they originally saw you. Saz?
No, that is okay.
Okay, Ray.
No.
He's still holding the bear trap in his hands. Yes, he's okay.
I'm holding my action. Yes. I'm a great wizard, Bob. You know, nice to meet you, people of the deep, worshippers of the dragon, and the nice weapons you have. I also have a nice weapon.
Is that
Are you showing the
is
bear
that
trap?
sus?
No, I'm showing the sword. Fucking useless sword.
Well, please roll for deception with advantage.
With
I'm a wizard. What do you mean? I can cast magic.
Wizard
Deception
with a
because
big
of?
broad swords.
He's using the sword for deception, yes. To divert their attention, you know? That's the best you
Solid
could
10.
do?
Yes.
Well, pleased to
It's
meet you.
shiny. It's shiny sword, so it's magical. Means I'm a wizard.
It's a rare sight when those who wield magical mysteries on the tip of their fingers can wield a sword of such size. That's commendable.
It's actually an axe, but it's a sword.
Okay, it's an axe. Yeah, you did it to two-edged.
If you look at it from one side, it's a sword, and if you from the other side, it's an axe. Yes, you can never truly see the final form of this magnificent weapon. It's
And,
too powerful to be seen.
This weapon definitely deserves to be in the hands of a great master. Maybe we could have a practice. And as he's suggesting that, I noticed that the woman behind him falling forward and says, Tommen, this is not the time, nor the place. Please keep your warrior spirit to yourself and don't unleash it on the guests.
Is she the actual lead or something?
Um,
She's
They
the spiritual
probably-
lead.
They probably have the same thing when the women are in charge. Like, whatever. The other tribe had the same thing.
Would any of us know?
The drows.
Maybe
Yeah, the
Um,
drones.
history of Tritons.
well, I think Rave definitely can roll for history, and Polo as an inhabitant of Denver.
History,
Okay.
yeah.
Polo, please.
Uh,
I
History,
forgot the book
Polo.
about Tritons.
Polo needs lots of luck here. Oh, he had luck. 17. But that's
Lucky.
with a -1.
Wait, Rave have history plus 8, yes, and it was 10.
And I got, yeah.
Well, it was too hard to concentrate for you seeing the, now the bottom part of those Tritons, yes.
You know, it's one of those topics that I didn't study so much, and so I just forgot.
Like
Uh,
Polo paid exceptional, attention because he needed to know about these things because there were always things happening. The trade routes, the illegal trade routes, smuggling routes with the Tritons. It's important things to know.
So, as Paula would know about his dear neighbors of Tritons, even though he never really dealt business with them or was headhunting any of them, but that's what everybody in Denver would know, is that they are quite aristocratic and they are trying to mimic in some parts what Drylanders, according to the words, are doing in terms of the leadership. But they do not have the gender kind of disparity there. They are all could be on equal positions, no discriminations in there. However, the ruling position there is always reserved for there is a king who is elected among the noble families. And it's not inherited by his heirs. That's what you know. As for the qualities and the attitudes of Tritons, you know that they value bravery a lot. And not many of them possess any kind of affinity to magic, and it's kind of a very rare gift to them. And quite often those who possess any magical powers are able to raise high in ranks. So most of them are just masters of melee combat. And you wouldn't like to handle with any one of them while they are in the waters, of course. They also prefer to use the military strategy and fight in formations, which they trained for. And this is what Rafe and Farwald previously observed a lot. And even now, as they are approaching you, a group of strangers, they're still keeping their formation on. So discipline is also not an empty word for them. They
Nice.
never really attacked Denver or any of the Drylanders as first. They just keep to their territory. So they are on defensive, pretty much.
Like, would Polo understand where on the spectrum of neutral, good, and evil they would be? Would they be like neutral, or?
They would be neutral.
Okay.
Let's. Some would argue
Oh,
that
that-
true neutral don't care about anything at all.
I mean, they're lawful, right?
Yes, they would be lawful neutral.
But not good, just neutral.
Not good, just neutral.
Okay.
Yep. So you can communicate that secretly to your party.
Yeah.
For your diplomatic efforts.
Yeah. Telepathy.
Yep. Well, and I still haven't heard the names of others. So
Please.
there is Bob,
Introduce yourselves.
the wizard, among you. There is Rave and
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, no. Paulo Bandovax.
to which destinations were you actually heading?
To the Volon Kingdom.
Yes. Or were we? Wait. What? Wait. Stop. Like.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No. I mean, like, off this, like, this is.
Where
what
are we
Paulo's
going?
thinking.
Where are we going? Yes.
No, I just remembered, like, we were flying back to Denver. Why? I don't remember. This is opposite
We were-
of Fallen Kingdom, right?
No,
Did we have any
we were not.
plans?
We were not flying back to Denver.
No?
We're going to that place
Okay.
somewhere else that we're not gonna go to. Apparently, I don't know why, but we don't want to go
Right.
there because there are gonna be a lot of Death Eaters. Yeah.
You're right. We were leaving Denver with the ship, and then the ship kind of, didn't work, right? We didn't try to go back, but somehow we were still in the Bay of Denver, and then we
It's
ended
still
up
in.
on this
It's the whole
island.
area is called Bay of Denver.
That's huge.
Ah,
The whole water
Okay.
body.
so didn't we actually want to go to Volant and kind of destroy or wreak havoc in this support camp from the Equalizer? Or do we just want to, mingle with dwarves or so?
No. Main quest. Then we're
Main
I don't know,
quest.
afraid
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, okay, sorry, keep going. I just remembered, weren't we trying to go back to Denver? But that was, yeah.
So your answer is to Voland, yes? So the town which the captain told you they were heading to, and next to which there were warehouses he was supposed to unload those Warforged pieces, is called Engard. You can see it on the map, on the world map. Okay. And
So how far away is our destination, Rafe, Captain Rafe?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
actually, because
Pirate
we
Captain Rafe.
we ended up here without knowing this was just the first land we found to survive. We don't really know how far we are from the destination. So
What?
we don't know
Captain
how to
doesn't
get
know?
there. Come on, stop saying captain.
Roll for provocation.
well,
Send
he
your-
is
Also
Captain.
mutiny.
captain of the party, you said, yes.
Yeah, I'm the captain of the party. I never confirmed that I'm a captain of a ship.
Who's gonna sail us even if we get to ship? Then no one. We don't know how to
Is
sail.
Sus panicking, or like what are those questions coming from?
Yes, I'm getting
No,
really
no, no, no,
disappointed
no.
in our leadership.
I am trying to ask them for help to get to Volon Kingdom.
I'm not going
Because
down
we-
in the water with them.
No,
Captain.
I'm asking
Yeah.
for a way. Like, do you think there's a way for us to leave this place? We don't have a ship. We don't have anything right now. What are our options? How far is it from here?
What is that? How about we make a bloody sacrifice to our gods and ask
Bloody-
them to take us away with their powers?
No,
Captain.
no.
No bloody sacrifices.
That's not how my god works. Let's not spill the blood here. That's also not how their god works.
Then we'll listen
That's
up.
how magic works.
That we don't
Spill
talk
the
to
blood.
bosses, right?
No. So yes,
So, is it time for me to answer the question, or?
yes, please. We're asking about Volon Kingdom, ways to go there, and how far it is.
Well, he is using his trident to point the direction to the northeast, and now you finally identify where it is, and says, everything depends on your means of travel. How fast do you swim?
Pretty slow. I don't think we would survive just swimming. Because we would have to take rest, like dry land.
Apologies.
And-
For a brief moment, I forgot that you are drylanders.
That's okay.
He thinks for a moment and kind of makes a couple calculations with his fingers and says, well, some of our riders could possibly get to that place in a couple of days.
By which means? Like swimming.
As I said, you're not the first crash landers on our islands. So since you are unable to breathe underwater, we are able to provide a minor boat that would be carried by some of our friends from the depths.
That's the only way.
Our friends from the depths are very, very
How about the
helpful.
sacrifice to the
They're
gods?
great friends to our nation, and the loss of Triton, the champion of the deep,
A water
really
creature
hurt.
sacrificed to a fire god.
If only we could get its skull back to our islands.
Come on, guys, we can get them a skull. We wanted to take the skull anyways, right?
I mean, we can steal that for sure.
Yeah. And we can also give them the soul of Duvalier.
The skull is enough.
As he's mentioning the skull, you notice how the woman comes to him and kind of like says, "Come on, Tomon, you don't need to say anything more to the outsiders. It's not their trouble."
Actually, guys, it's our trouble with our friend. We freed them, remember? We set him free. We took the bandages of slavery from this.
Wouldn't you call Dune anything like that?
Okay.
Oral
so-
sea dragon.
If someone would
time.
have put like an official job for the Adventurers Guild, legally everything, yeah, then yes.
What exactly? You cannot have an Adventurers Guild mission that affects the interests of the royal families, right? So it's like,
Well, you can't.
I don't think you can.
I mean, maybe no one will take the job, but I think they don't control the guild.
Pretty sure they give money for it as well.
And we'll open our own Adventurers Guild, and then we'll take the
What
job.
money? Like, we don't have the money.
Yeah, I think
Captain,
have
what are we
to
doing,
get the soul
Captain?
ourselves.
Paula, you were saying?
No, I was just saying I think we would need to get the skull ourselves, but I mean, I personally
Yes,
would
but
like to
after,
say
after.
something about the dragon, but Polo did not see him, he just heard, you know. Farbold could say lots, but was not granted the great gift to control Farbold to
Well.
silence.
If you want, you can go ahead and talk it all out because you were there as a player. But just the rolls, I will just take care of the rolls for easiness. Okay, what Farwell says.
Farbold gives, you know, Rafe like a, how to say that, like an elbow, not a strong one, but like in the side. It's like, hey,
Okay,
so
okay.
friend, we took the curse from him. Remember the tattoo?
Okay. Like, okay, yes. I'm very sorry, Mr. Redlock. There is something that we've been hiding so far because I wasn't really sure what you would think about the dragon. But the thing is that we were the ones that actually freed him before. Yeah, dragons are my ancestors. I cannot really see ancestors of myself. I feel that I'm the one that's been kept. And I just found him and we talked and we helped him get his freedom back. And we were kind of friends and we really thought that he was gonna be able to escape away from this captivity place and not really be like followed or even killed afterwards. So it feels like something we have to do, at least bringing whatever is left from what he was.
You see that his eyes are kind of like becomes really big as he hears the story, and it's hard for him to believe. And he says, "You are saying you were the ones who unleashed him from his torture sentence?" I'm
Yes,
pretty
yes,
sure.
but please don't disclose this to anybody else. Like, we're not sea creatures, but I'm explaining to you like why this felt like a link, but nobody should know about this.
As he seeing that, he makes a sign to his warriors behind, and you notice how all of those warriors and he himself, except for the woman, they all are raising the spears up in the air and kind of make a short bow towards you, and then they straighten up. And they keep all the soldiers, they keep the spears up, and he is the only one who starts walking towards you with his trident down. If what you're saying is true, it would be a great honor for me to host you in our place. I would like to provide you a formal invitation to visit the House of Redlock in the town of... Do you remember the name of town?
No.
Cleanse.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I thought it was another one. Yes, class. Oh, it would be an honor for us to do that. I mean, we are just merely drylanders, but if you would extend that invite, we would totally accept it. I think.
What about the rest of you?
What was the question? Sorry.
I mean, the captain already made the decision, yes?
Following the captain.
Following the captain.
So we're staying on the island, yes? Great.
No, wait, what was the decision? What did you decide?
He's
They said
inviting
we
you
can stay
over
on
in
the
the
island.
house.
Oh, yeah, we should take that.
Right.
If you guys don't
I don't
feel
know.
safe,
I don't know
we
how
can-
we're gonna get there without dying, but yeah.
maybe we should ask them. Maybe they just forgot we can't breathe underwater.
Yeah, might be a little detail. Although, is your house actually one of these islands or underwater?
Well, The great city of clans is actually under the surface. But do not worry. We have the means to provide for the safety of our guests and friends alike. And he makes a sign to a couple of his warriors, and you see that a couple of them disappears underwater.
Nice
Tells
trick,
us
Captain. Good job.
telepathically. Oh, I was gonna tell
I
us.
knew I could believe in you. That's a nice story you came up with, right?
Says it is true. You were not there, but we did this with the help of Bob.
You saving a dragon.
Yeah,
I
you are
believe
Bob,
it,
right?
for sure.
You believe me? Says it was true. It's really my ancestor. Look, we're super similar.
But you're a fire creature, and this is the water dragon.
Yes, but it's about the skin, and then there was the adaptation and evolution, and yeah, it's an old story.
Were in our
Really
gods
look-
that we will not exploit it.
Maybe I can stay here and I can, spend some time with this monument while you're gonna go down.
No,
And
no,
if you're not
Sas-
gonna come back within a
Sas is
day,
really no. Sas is coming.
You're just gonna set traps all around it, huh?
Let's just. I still have the Pegasus, right? It's still with us.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yes, so I cannot hear.
Oh, okay. Sorry. He is still injured and not able to fly.
Yeah, that's what
Or
I wanted
there,
to
so-
say. That we would keep the Pegasus here, and I would talk to him, and if we're not out after a little bit, go back and be free. Yeah.
Yeah, that you can absolutely do.
Yeah, I'm indicating that we are gonna go. I mean, he would understand, right? He should stay here. I'm giving him some.
we can just stay
Extra food?
here and we heal the
No.
Pegasus and we just fly. We don't need to go down.
We're gonna go down. Come on, it's an adventure.
Well, you see how the woman comes closer to you, and he gives you something like a seaweed, like a small sponges. They look like sponges, and she gives like a small piece to each of you, and says, "Please follow me. And once we submerge, you just need to take it in the mouth."
Have a try wizard tournament. Deja vu here. A little bit.
Which wizard?
Try wizard.
I don't know that.
Go light of fire.
Harry Potter.
Mhm.
Maybe. So, and then you notice how all the soldiers are kind of like going down, and he is following just right next to you and leading you towards the sea. The Pegasus stays behind, graciously waiting for you for your return next to the monument.
Okay, let's go.
As you're following up, he is actually offering you a hand, Rafe. And as you are submerging and making steps down further, the water elevates, goes to your chest, then to your chin level. And for the first moment you feel, what the hell am I doing? As it gets to your eye level. But as you submerge, you see that there's a perfect visibility. The water is very clear. You see your compatriots behind you. And to your surprise, the gum in your mouth provides the oxygen that you need. In a bit of a distance, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Okay. I just wondering if I could actually speak underwater. Okay.
Doesn't matter in. You noticed interesting construction that they are heading you to, and it looks the following way. I'm sending it in the maps and lore. It looks like a bell.
The one-way journey, guys.
So they're leading you towards the enter of this bell, and you have to even swim along a bit to get under it. But as you submerge, you find yourself in a small room with enough space for all of you, including the main, the leader of the group of Tritons. He's accompanying you along, Toman, and you can see in a small window of illuminators as the rest of his crew, they are actually pulling the bell after them, mostly actually letting it to gently go lower and lower and deeper. As you're looking around and trying to see anything in depth, for the first few moments there is nothing but darkness. You can feel how the altitude changes in your ears. Just a couple hours ago you were really high up in the sky, and now the life turns you into undersurface, underwater area.
What feels
And
worse?
well, do you have a seasickness, Rafe?
How would I know? What do I have to roll?
Would you like? You can roll.
No. I'm fine because of the things I'm eating here.
Yeah, now there is no need to hold the thing in your mouth as there is enough oxygen in the air. And yeah, you can have a conversation. And as the Triton points into the Toman, he says, "Behold, here is the sacred city of clans of my people." And he points it for you towards a small window. In the window you can see the following picture.
Okay.
And as the bell goes lower and lower, and the crew of his is pulling it closer towards one of the buildings here, let's go on a short break of 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. Thank you everybody who joined, and hope you stay along. 5 minutes. Or 7. slowly coming back from the pause as our players are returning back to the stream. Thank you everybody who joined and stay along. Thank you Huso101 for the latest follow. Really helps a lot. Hopefully we can reach our goal sometime soon. If anyone is here, happy to chat, talk about D&D and Go. Oh, Huso, yes. So are you a DM or are you a player? What do you do most? I kind of do both, and yeah, you're also DM. Yes, and how many years do you do DMing? I sometimes browse the different channels for D&D or just look for some pictures, fantasy pictures for inspiration. Wow, 2nd edition. So you are a big veteran scene. I never played 2nd, 3rd, 3 and 5 or 4th. I actually got hooked up into D&D maybe 4 years ago. Something like this. Yeah, and it was already 5th edition. And do you have a campaign running? And like this campaign of ours, the Power Rangers, as they call themselves, goes already for 3 years? I think at least 3 years. Well, it sounds a lot actually, if you think about it. We actually have a link for all the campaign diaries in the channel description. There is a link to YouTube for our past streams. And I think there is also a link to Patreon, where I keep all of our notes for all 131 episodes. It's like 300 pages, I think, of written material. Oh, the Snagga one. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. Very, very helpful. Nice to have you. Hope you're staying along. So our players are coming back from the pause. Deep Dragon Heist for friends. Water Deep Dragon Heist. Yeah, I have one. I have this one, but I didn't run it yet. And interestingly enough, we have a dragon-oriented theme for today's episode. As approximately 80 episodes later, as our party has freed the blue coral sea dragon from the shackles of its master, now they are encountering people who actually were friends to this dragon and who are mourning its untimely death. If you would like to know more about the campaign and the story in depth, yeah, as I said, all the notes are on the Patreon. Its link is in the channel description. Yeah, so all our players' actions have some consequences. Yeah.
Only bad consequences.
Well, that's, I would say, depend. It's very subjective.
Getting scammed by DM.
No.
Hey guys, finish this quest for 20 episodes. Get a sword. What can it do? Nothing.
Well, I think if you're going to share
That's why you didn't do anything.
Well, if you share the stats of the sword that you got in the stream chat, I'm pretty sure they will be amazed. And nobody's gonna say it's a scam. So I dare you. I dare you to share it with them.
The sword cut very deep. The wound is still
It doesn't
bleeding.
work on ghosts and undead and who knows what else.
Yeah, Well, it's a legendary sword, and that says it all. Different DMs have different opinions about giving their items powerful things to handle, and in my opinion, nothing is OP if everything is OP. So in our campaign, if you check a couple of episodes before, we already had a second time when a player used Deck of Many Things. This second time was much more forgiving.
I'm telling you, only bad consequences. Yeah.
Well,
Never
big
got
risk,
rich.
big risk, big
Never
reward.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, Polo, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
I
not see me?
see. No, okay, I need to refresh my view. One moment.
So
Okay. Okay. Now everything, now everything is good. Now everything works. Sometimes it lags for me. Anyway, thanks for everybody who joined as a party of Power Rangers continue their adventure. This time deep under surface of the sea, and they currently find themselves in the submerging bell, along in the company of Tommen van Redlak, the Triton. And as the bell goes deeper and closer to the town of Clans itself, you have an opportunity to strike a conversation with him, Rafe, as he is carefully observing you, your friends, and the equipment and how they behave. You do notice that Gaki doesn't feel comfortable here underwater at all. And yeah, she could use some inspiration.
From the boyfriend, right?
Well,
I thought DM is the boyfriend today.
well, if you wanna do more of Farwell, I don't mind. You brought the party down into the sea, so we can continue down that path.
It was your fault. Oh.
I'm gonna
Let me
die.
check how good Farwood would be
No,
in
not.
supporting.
Yeah.
This is a whole new universe.
So
First time underwater.
the party has two supporting characters following them along. Gaki, the fire genasi, who is in relationship with Farwold, another PC under control of Gerhard, but he also has another PC in the party because that happened. And Jackson, the gnome butler, who has a hidden weapon in his artificial hand, if you still remember. But other than that, he doesn't have his spear along.
Jackson
So he
knows
feels
too much now. We
Jackson
cannot let him
feels
go.
empty-handed.
He's loyal. Come on, he's fine.
Well, what would you like to ask anything of Tommen about the town, about the people, about the situation as you are submerging?
Yeah, okay, so Mr. Toman or Redlag, I see that you're kind of a lead of this group, or are you also a lead, like in general? Are you the king, or is the king someone else? Yeah.
If I could prove my valor to other families or provide some great deeds to my city, well, that definitely would give me points, as I am eligible to be elected as a king. But so far my path has just started, and actually it recently could have been ended if not for a happy coincidences as I escaped the imprisonment of one of the most vicious drylanders this place has seen. Have you heard anything about Duvalier on Sun and his trade fleet?
Oh,
What did you say?
heard
Farwood
a lot of
shots.
bad things about that guy.
sunk his ship, didn't we? Son of a bitch. Farwood speaking.
Sunk his ship? So you
Yeah.
are at odds with him? Which ship did you
Yeah.
sunk?
The one he had. What was the name?
Concordia.
Yes, right.
Why is this happening?
I mean, the ship sank by itself. We didn't do anything. That's what Farwell
Something to
means.
be there.
You see
we
that
just
his
saw it.
eyes are kind of narrowing as you're naming the name of a ship and he's looking at you.
Howard was not
Well.
naming the name of the ship. Howard suspected memories.
Well, that was a correct name, and you said it out loud, so
Did I?
he's
God.
and he is like, you actually have a connection to the sunkage of the Concordia. How can? That definitely a story that me and my sister would like to hear more. Well, if of course I'm sorry to be insistent, you just very curious bunch of crashlanders. Most of others that are appearing on our islands, they just beg for a bottle of water, an ability to come back to their families. They're ready for anything. As for you, you do not behave like them.
No, we're the same. We just give us the bottle of water and let us go.
We're thirsty.
Thank you for your, sightsee trip. We can go.
Are you starting to
Sorry.
bang into the bell? Let me out.
I'm panicking, underwater. It's too deep.
Okay.
Relax.
Sas, roll for performance, please.
It's too deep.
Oh my god, I'm feeling so embarrassed right now, and I'm trying.
In order to divert from the commotion and because he was kind of addressed, Farwood says, well, let's say we had our differences with Duvalier. Let's say he almost killed me in a way.
Well, an enemy of my enemy could be an ally.
Okay.
He has
Farwood
great.
realizes.
Go ahead.
Farwood realizes he just let go lots of sensitive information, so he kind of clears his head and looks at his this Triton and tries to understand the Triton being honest. Is the Triton trying to? What is the Triton's motive? So he looks at him intently and tries to study his behavior and facial expressions.
About the Valier?
Now, like, is the Triton like truly thinking a friend or enemy of an enemy is my friend, or is he really? How does he feel about Duvalier and about this information?
Oh, you can try to roll for insight.
Yes. Where's the button? There's the button. 27. Boom.
27, not bad, not bad. Well, you realize that the person in front of you and his character, he seems to you quite straightforward. You have seen some of those really achieving great heights. Some of them achieving great heights in the military back in Denver. However, very often their straightforwardness would not allow them to get really into the general positions. That would get in their way. And this is the impression his character is giving to you. So far, none of his actions and his body behavior was implying on any kind of second layer or third layer or anything. He would just say it straight.
Okay. But it is so. Wait, he said he had he would be in a direct line to the throne at some point.
He said he's eligible for that.
He's eligible, so he is powerful by birth, but not by capability in terms of politics.
Yes, he said he would need to have something to back off his claims. Or to get points for the election, yes. So far, he doesn't have anything to bring to actually get ahead of the competition.
I mean, a true, practical king of the Tritons, or of the tribe of Tritons, who would be our friend, would be a powerful ally, because we could expect him not to conspire against us. He's no king, though. But interesting.
Yes. So as he is hearing you mentioning the Concordia and that he is saying, I do also have a history with that ship in particular. And now you're saying you also caused it to be demolished. Is it true? How did it happen? How did you get on the bad side of Duvalier? Are you in open war against him? Not everybody in Tethir would claim to be direct enemies of the heads of one of the great families of Denver.
Hope you remember the story.
Just question to the
common
players, not the
story.
characters. Do we actually know that we have the soul of Duvalier? Did we ever confirm that? Or is that just our suspicion or assumption? Did we actually ever confirm it?
No, I think that we know that we have it.
I mean, that's what Bob said, right?
That's what Bob had. Yes.
Okay.
Bob had it, but we don't have it, or what?
No, we have it.
Why would you have
Polo
it?
has it.
Because we took.
You stole it?
Yes, that's the thing. We have
You don't have anything
Duvalier's
at the
soul
end,
in a
right?
crystal.
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
Along with some of the gold, and yeah, that caused some problems on the ship. Correct.
That's just why I'm thinking, like, is it unwise to claim that we're in an open war with Duvalier if he is kind of dead? Or is it very wise to say that because now his kingdom is crumbling? Which means
Trade
now
kingdom.
Yeah, like now we cannot just like openly admit that he's our enemy, but maybe even claim his downfall, which is not so far from the truth.
It would be too much.
Okay, just thoughts. Well, let's say Duvalier gave us strong reasons for us to have differences. Open war might be a stretch, but he, as I said, he almost killed me, and he certainly led to the death of our friend, Freythor. So we had all kinds of reasons to not be on his side.
He looks more attentively now to all of you as you're describing the story. And then at some point he stops his gaze at Rafe. And you do sound familiar, as if we've met before. You look familiar. What is it? Very interesting. And as he says that, the bell is hitting the floor of the sea.
Like free fall. Okay.
And then it elevates a bit up, and you realize, you can see now in the illuminator that it's being brought inside of one of the houses. Everything there seems to be very well accustomed to those who can breathe underwater, no problem. But for you, your host is saying that we have specially designed, prepared chambers for the drylanders for special occasions. And the status of my family allows us to have them always ready. Yes, as the bell parks in a small hangar per se, he is saying that you just need to dive and appear up to the ladder. Just follow him. He observes you all next to you. This time, this small green chewing thing that he was giving you earlier no longer works, and he tells you that you won't need it. It's just close. As you're entering the chamber after a very quick short dive, you find yourself in a hangar. The bell is attached there to the ceiling, and the crew of the Toman is now seemingly still staying in the water. He is the last one who lifts the bell, and he goes along with you to show the chambers that are allocated for guests. You find yourself in a big 4-room apartment place, and the designs you can infer from the picture of the city that I've posted on Maps and Lore. So there are a lot of those oval corners in all around the places. They don't seem to like any kind of corners. And the design of it is nothing that you have seen by the court of Duke Duvalier or by the druids of Core City, or neither in the simple designs of peasantry in Ironwood. None of that you've seen before. I'm gonna send you the picture just a bit later. And as for now, your host is saying that please pick your rooms for accommodations, and me and my sister are gonna come for bigger conversations for the guests in a short while. He makes the same bow he did back to you on the shore, and with a quick and short jump, he dives into the water from where you have emerged. You currently find yourself just 5 of you in the massive chambers that were allocated for you as guests.
We're alone now, without any Tritons.
Yes.
Wow. I feel like in the embassy, I guess.
Yeah, why did we go down here, right? There was no reason to.
No, it's a diplomatic guest
Trap.
experience. Yes. I mean,
So the picture of how the play looks around you and designs is in the following picture. So it has quite a few massive open windows from where you can see all the sea life, wildlife just across the illuminator.
Looks very decent.
Yes. Polo, from your life of the headhunter, this is definitely on the pleasant side of the accommodation that you've had.
Do they have any high quality materials, like maybe gold or pearls or anything luxury?
You do notice that some of the depictions on walls are made out of amber and other smaller, tiny, maybe not that precious stones, as they're fractured and they're just too small to be of any real value to any jewelry on the mainland.
So it doesn't look super rich.
So if any one of you have been to Zanzusi Palace in Potsdam, there is a big room which is made out of shells by Friedrich Great. Do you know?
Yeah, it's posh.
So that's the kind of environment you currently find yourself in.
So Paul's eyes are lighting up and he starts to measure the value of everything he sees.
Well, if you would be a jeweler or any kind of stonemason, yeah, you would definitely see the wealth in the walls, literally in the walls.
I mean, Paul is more for like the stuff he can carry. So
No, come on. We're in the no.
Paul is just looking, you know.
Looking.
Just looking.
It's not
I
like
think
he would notice anything.
I'm good point. So for those who don't know what Zanzusi Palace is, I'm gonna send a picture as well. That's just one of the walls in there, in that specific room. Well, Jackson, as he's walking around carefully, you notice that he checks the mechanism in his left hand, which is now a prosthesis. He takes out something that resembles just a massive, like not a massive, but a small cannon ball. He like weights it in his hands and kind of loads it back in hand. You hear something clicking, and he notices how Sas sees that, and he feels a bit, I'm just checking if nothing is rusty, the wetness, the underwater, just to be sure.
Exactly, you can never trust those lizard men,
Lizard men?
They're carrying those tripods for a reason, They don't look peaceful at all.
Well, as in time in the army, some of my fellow comrades would call them the wet men. Oh, wetlanders.
You were fighting underwater? Tell us more about those famous battles.
No, we were not fighting, but of course we knew about them. And as one of the generals always was saying, know your enemy and then pick a battle where it's most beneficial for you. So fighting them in the water, no way. The cannons cannot do shit here.
Yeah, they haven't even had enough strength to take the skull of the, deity or the dragon they're worshipping. Such weaklings.
They didn't say it's a deity for them. They said it's just a friend.
It seems like they're worshipping him. Maybe I'm wrong. Friend.
Well, Sas, do you have any of your marvelous tea?
Yeah, but I don't feel like... No. I'm a bit stressed at the moment.
Well, as long as you don't hit the glass.
It's fine, we can swim up. Nothing's gonna happen, I'm sure.
Brave, you have attuned to your item that allows you to breathe underwater. So, just saying.
It also saves from water pressure?
Well, it would save her, yes.
Paulo would like to understand like this whole place, this people, the culture a bit. Like, so he's trying to understand if this whole place is about water, right? But is it also about cold?
Cold, like ice?
Yes, like low temperatures. So he's trying to understand how to prepare for this environment.
Well, you know that in open waters, that definitely would be quite cold the deeper you're going. And you would not be really accustomed to survive anywhere there. The deeper you go, the worse it is, of course. And over here, as you're looking around, most of the things are lighting up, not by fire, of course, but just fluorescent seaweed, which is floating or planted in different places. So it gives its own underwater cave charm, per se.
But it doesn't look like Polo should expect any cold damage, right? That's what he's trying to understand.
Well, I think you would mostly be exposed to lack of oxygen again.
It's nothing he can deal with, so he's just trying to, address the problems he can.
Yes, just oxygen damage, as usual.
Okay. If there is downtime, then Polo would like to use that to actually study something he had forgotten, because he bought some type of kit, learning kit, which will help him to get to know the poisoner's kit and become proficient with that. He's trying to, distract himself from all the wealth he sees around, because his fingers are itching and he knows they shouldn't, so he's focusing on this.
Quite noble of you. Yes. Sas, what would you like to do meanwhile?
Stealth reconnaissance mission. I assume it's pretty dim light over here.
Yes, it's dim light
Because it's
most
not
of the
bright
places.
light, right?
It's not bright light anywhere.
And wearing my slicky silent shoes and it being almost invisible, I'm gonna be scouting the area.
Almost or actual invisible?
Actual invisible.
I'm gonna be following him, and because obviously, if I go somewhere with Saz, I would not trust him.
You're not gonna
You already
see.
destroyed the ship.
Rave grabs you by hand as you're turning invisible. Are you trying to...
What, Rafe?
Okay,
What's
where
going
you
on?
go?
I'm gonna look for exit. For
No,
some
no, no.
kind
Let's
of
wait for the
escape.
Tritons. Let's see what they offer us. Like maybe some food.
poisonous food.
I mean, if you're not hungry, but I think we haven't eaten like in 2 days.
In a day at least, yes. Before you ventured after Bob into sewers, that was the last time you ate carrot soup.
Okay, then what should I do? I don't know. I don't have any. I'm a great wizard, but if there's nothing to
Check
do,
around, but we're just waiting for them, right? They cannot leave us alone for a long time. It would be weird.
is there any signs of blood on the floor or scratch marks
Are there any books?
or huge locks? Like metal bars on the windows.
Why would you have metal bars on the windows? It's an ocean outside of it,
Charwold has a miner's pick if you want to explore stuff, dig a hole or so. Just in case you feel trapped.
What if we
Hit the
dig down?
glass.
We need to go deeper, Let's hunt for treasures, pirate chests and stuff. So I wanted to explore, but if Rafe is like signaling that it's not, then I'm just gonna roam around the room. I'm looking for any kind of dangers, poisonous traps, trap doors, secret passages. Maybe there's a secret, you pull the book and then another exit opens up. Any signs of some, blood.
Sas, please roll for investigation with advantage, because Rafe helps you along.
She's holding my hand.
Taking you away from
It's-
danger.
3 and 1. Pick the one you like more. I'm opening the window to investigate, Maybe that's trying to open the window.
Who opened the window in submarine, yes?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, do you have any inspirations and stuff?
Yes. Yes, I can use inspiration. Okay, that's actually a good use because I have it for a while. Trying again. We're gonna
Yeah.
find treasures. There's a treasure
Uh,
chest in the middle of the room.
Huser, are you still with us? I'm curious, how often
12.
are you giving inspiration to your players? So, what was your role?
12.
12.
It's much
Okay, I
better.
mean, much better, yes. So now you're kind of accustomed to a pace of Rave that walks along with you. And yeah, she feels like no longer disturbing you looking around. Of course, every shade, every shadow there only helps you find all the secret spots. You're observing several places where you think you could prepare an ambush for anyone who could be appearing from the water pool that you emerged from. But as you're trying to look for any other exits or entrances to the place, sometimes knocking towards the walls and hearing for sounds, looking for signs if anyone using pickaxe around here. You also don't find any signs of pickaxe in the walls. It does seem that the pool that the bell has come from is the only way in or out to this place.
Can I submerge a little bit? Like, put my feet in.
Of course.
Then
Mm.
can I swim down? Or am I getting crushed by the pressure? Or it's super cold? Or there's the sharks guarding the exit? I mean, can I swim outside without dying immediately? Testing the waters.
Oh, interesting. Husa, we can maybe try it in our game as well. That's an interesting idea. So, yeah, in Husa saying that in their game, one of the players actually nominates another player for inspiration.
Abusing the system.
Well, that's why DM comes in as to keep watch. But I generally quite generous on inspirations. The players rarely remember that they have those. Okay, well, you can dive into the water. You do feel that it's not a pleasant swim around here. And you are not immediately crushed by the water, the altitude, by the depths, by the atmospheric pressure. No. But you definitely, even with your physique and your constitution, you do feel that reaching the surface would be quite a deed for you. Because you do not see the light of the surface from the place you are. In the distance, as the water over here is quite often highlighted by this seaweed, you do notice the frequent passerbyers, or swimmer buyers, better say, of other Tritons. They do look all armed. You do not see a single woman among them. So from your point of view of your past experience, those mostly look like patrols.
No woman? Didn't they have equality and stuff?
Oh, yeah, they don't have any discriminations. It's just what Sus see within his visibility. Yeah. They do not
I'm going to report that it is technically possible to swim. I believe.
Yes.
Nobody's leaving. Nobody's swimming.
Let me out. I wanna leave.
Come on. We were learning about this world. Maybe we're gonna move here.
This is not our world. This is, like a fucking, if you go to the demon's place, it's also part of our world, but you don't have to live there. Anyway, yeah, that's
okay. Yes, Paulo?
I mean, I was just thinking, like, let's just think, like, we're like in a completely different world among different, like, totally other people. They seem to be nice given their culture from what we know. We befriended the dragon friend and freed him from prison. We kind of freed one of the princes. They could be good allies. Or what else could we do down here? I don't think this is I think this is a rare opportunity. One does not simply descend into a Triton city. Maybe there's, special stuff we can only do now, only here. Maybe can get special items. I don't know, learn special things, form special alliances or so. I think it's just like a cool opportunity. But do we fully grasp it? What upsides are there to being here right now? Can we use this? What do you think?
You can do a trade contract with them. We can supply them our freshly baked bread from the grass, that they don't have here at all. And they can send us their weed or whatever they're growing. So,
Okay.
I mean, I kind of like the idea because we have like our own lands, right? And we still think of a business case and production and stuff. And I don't know.
no. I imagine the delivery. We just throw it in the water. That's it. Just dump it.
Like, throwing breads into the water, like for, for the birds.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Well, you can also connect them with druids of Kirinal.
We can convert them into cause of faith, the only true faith. But I'm not gonna do it. It's up to you guys. You have charisma. I don't have any charisma.
I mean, Sas has investigation skills.
Minus one intelligence. Come on, man.
Like different question. So since Farbold was probably at first busy, calming Gaki down a bit and persuading her, no, it's fine, they're nice people. It's just a bit wet around here, but that's okay. But then he probably saw like Sas investigating, trying to open the non-existing window and stuff like that. Maybe he thought like, maybe I should investigate. Is that something Farbold could come up with?
Of course.
Okay. Then let's
So,
roll.
Yeah, go for investigation as well.
7. Never mind. Farbold is also looking for the window.
Yeah, okay, so Sas is going to have a black screen for a bit of time and then he's going to come back. As for you, Farwald, it actually takes you quite some time for calming down Gaki and actually focusing on stuff at hand. So your mind is wandering around, you're looking at the unfamiliar interior. And what would you like to have something back in your house or in your room? Any design ideas you would take with you from here based on the pictures I provided? That's a question.
Well, me personally.
Farwald.
Farwald for sure has always been a big connoisseur and appreciator of gemstones in any type of shape. So the ones he sees, he duly appreciates, and probably they have different styles of schliff, how to say, like how they're being formed.
Polished. They're polished, formed.
Yeah. Like different
shaped,
styles.
Maybe.
Shaped, new patterns, and he takes a keen interest in that because it's probably something he couldn't watch a lot.
I can see a connection here with the Temple of Anaikron and their priestesses, yes?
Of course, everything falls into place and makes sense.
Exactly. Well, yeah, so with your investigation roll, you're kind of going into the opposite direction as where the Sas was going. You can only see that one of the corners was now occupied by Paula, who is trying to focus up on some studying, and Rave, who is periodically barking at an empty space, which is supposed to be Sas, because he's invisible. But Yeah, you are trying to look for also empty doors or any places you could escape or maybe barricade. And you realize that as far as this place goes, you're quite exposed in all kinds of matters. And even though this place is called a guest chambers, not a gas chamber.
Oh my God.
It's a
That's what you call freudsche Versprecher, like how to say that.
I don't know.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know. Well, you're
If you
quite
try to give
exposed
any
here.
hints.
And in case somebody would be hostile to their host, yeah, you wouldn't really have an opportunity to settle here proper defense.
Charlotte wants to remind everyone in the party to remain friendly because we're not in a position to be something else than that.
Right now it's a diplomatic mission, right? So
yeah, we're actually here to try to make friends, and I think we have great starting position.
we just need to leave this place and go to the next part of the mission.
So after about half an hour, as you're wandering around and trying to find some peace, and you hear this sound as somebody emerges from the water, and you can see that this is the Toman van Redluck that comes back, and behind him you see it's the woman that was accompanying him as she met you on the shore. And she is carrying a large plate, at this moment still covered. She holds it in both hands, and it does seem quite heavy. They're carrying it into the middle of the room and lay it on a table. As she opens the cover, you realize that, especially you, Rave, you have seen and visited quite many of the royal courts and the way how people are treated. So you would say that the way how it was served and the richness of all those snacks and food in there, it gives an honor to those that receive it. So there's plenty of snacks that are located there, mostly seafood there, and quite a lot of different kinds of seaweed. Different colors and shapes. And yeah, please let us share a meal together, as we would like to hear more in details about your encounter with Freyran, and especially about Concordia and your relationship about Duvalier and Son. You sure are interesting people, and you do sound like we could be on the same side. We could be friends. So yeah, he is summoning everybody to the table, and Sas, I assume for now, is just silently also picking up some seaweed. So yeah, he would like to know more about, in more details, about how you crashed the ship of Duvalier, and also your full relationship with the dragon, because he only heard a couple of phrases from you all, and he is curious. That's natural. So question to the party, how much would you like to tell him, and how would you like to describe it, and which colors?
Yeah, that's a good question, because we were all sticking to the same story from the beginning when Farrell was killed, that it's because it was a misunderstanding. They thought we had spied on them, but we were just looking for the bathroom or something like that. We're just lost in the castle or whatever.
But the thing is, like, while we did accidentally spy on them, we discovered they were plotting against the Duke, right? So let's
for them to know.
But how about we paint ourselves of true enemies of Duvalier? because I think that might gain us some points here, because it was in the end Duvalier who had captured this prince. This prince was his prisoner, right? So Duvalier's enemy of the Tritons. We're enemy of Duvalier. They probably like us.
Yes, but it means that we also have to say that we're also enemies of the rest of the.
Oh, not
followers.
necessarily. We can just say what happened that Duvalier almost, or that's now we can give more details. Actually, killed Farwald, in a way, that this is why Farwald is really looking for revenge on Duvalier, and we just sunk his ship. And
It was more. Wait, why did we sunk the ship? Really? Why were we on the ship?
Are you
we're looking for
asking as a
Farwald.
player or as a character? Because I can give a
No.
quick recap for both you
I think
and
this is all
viewers.
The
player
real reason, like,
conversation.
why? Yeah, why did we go there in the first place? Like, what
I
was
mean,
the real
so-
intention? I know we always wanted to do something and we end up doing something different.
I can explain. Do you remember?
It was a long time ago. It was
So-
80 episodes ago, so I can understand that.
So, the thing was, Farwald was dead, right? And Duvalier took Farwald's body, remember? So you were trying to get back Farwald's body to revive him or do stuff. So Duvalier not only kind of killed Farwald, but he also took his body. And he was doing some weird experiments on Farwald's body down in the ship. Also, that's why
How did
Party
we get
went
that
to the ship.
information? How did we get the
Uh,
information? We knew
Helena
it from
provided it
some-
to you that he was transferred to the ship. That was part
Yeah.
of her deal with you.
Right. So then once Party went to the ship, because the idea was to get Farwald's body back, there were many prisoners. Amongst them was also like this Triton. And I think in first encounter, Rafe did not free him, even though he actively approached and was like, hey, free me. But
Yes.
then later, retrieving Farwald's body, being detected, deciding to detonate this whole ship with dynamite. At least Polo, that I remember, had the idea of freeing the prisoners. Because Polo sympathizes
did it,
with
yeah.
prisoners. He never did it, but we had the intention. And I think Polo was, like kind of caught invisible in midair by a fucking fireball from Bob or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think he had the keys. That was kind of his intention. So I think the keys, somehow the keys ended up in the prisoners' hands, and that is why they could escape or so. So indirectly, we were responsible for this Triton to escape his imprisonment. But he doesn't know that we did that. So I think it would maybe be good to reveal that in a certain way.
It was not really the keys, but rather the power of the explosion that damaged many of the cells. As well as the hull of the ship.
Okay.
Well, it was an infiltration mission to get Farwell's body, who was killed a couple of days before during the Dragon Chess tournament, as the party were caught spying, and as they were trying to run away, they separated and Farwell was killed running away. They tried to get his body. They infiltrated the ship in 2 groups, and Rafe got the body, saw the Triton Prince, and however the Polo and Bob back then, they said they were on a different part of a ship, and they never saw the prisoners, and Polo was gone since then, and Farwell was revived by his deity later on. So it was a successful mission. The ship was destroyed as a result, and after that the party has seen the blue coral dragon was protecting the ship underwater, rushing to the scene. And this is where Rafe has made a contact with him due to her ancestry. And you have actually destroyed the tattoo that was holding him on leash. There was quite a lot of successful good rolls, I think, back then, that day. So he was freed, he was thankful, he gave you his name. And he unleashed his rage on all of the trade empire of Duvalier Sun, who was trapping him for the past 40 years. Yes, that caused the whole kingdom trade to be abrupt, lots of troubles at sea. That caused the Duke to actually gather a huge armada of fleets to actually try to come pacify the dragon. That's you were doing something else meanwhile completely, and in the end they got the dragon, they killed him, and they brought his skull to the port of Denver, to the capital of the Thir. This is where you've seen it last time. Standing there as a exposed. That's a very short recap of everything that happened. If you want more details, we have a full campaign description and all details on the Patreon page. Link is in the channel. Well, yes. So yeah, how much in details are you telling? You telling everything, or you are hiding some parts? Sus is showing some signs. Well, Rafe, your call. You called yourself a captain.
Just for diplomatic reasons, right?
So he's also settling down, and he introduces the lady that came along. And he introduces her as his sister, named Tiana van Redlock. I'm gonna post her name for you in Maps and Lore channel. Well, it's up to you to decide how much you're telling them.
That is fine. We will not mention the soul with those good times with the dragon is okay. And I mean, we can explain the thing of the ship's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's not mention that we have Duvalier's soul in our pockets for now, though. that might be a bonus in the end once we're sure it's worth it, but let's see.
Okay, so you tell about the ship, Farveld confirms, and how much you're telling about the dragon, because that's the second topic that's very interesting to him.
I mean, everything that we thought about freeing him, but it was a hard conversation because he was, of course, not trusting anybody, but at the end we managed to, yeah. But with the dragon there was nothing much to further explain because yeah, it was just like a monologue between he was talking about himself and then I would answer and so on.
Well, as you are continuing your story to them, you realize that as you're describing the whole Concordia infiltration, Tiana sits quite straight and motionless. However, the man, he is reacting very actively to every single thing that you are telling to him. Seems he has a very personal grudge against that ship. And as you're describing the fact that there was a explosion and that caused the whole ship to collapse, you see his grin on his face as he's kind of like relaxed and putting his hands down. And as you are finishing that part, he's saying, well, as fate would have it, that explosion is what helped me to get out of that horrid place. Most of the time, I only heard screams of those who were taken to the mortuary. They were never getting out of there alive. I'm glad you went after your friend, and seeing him in good health here, he points at Farveld, it seems to be all worth it. As for the dragon, well, allow to tell you that it's a big honor that the dragon has told you his name to you, and you can actually call him friends. Not many of those remember the old times, old tales, the harmony of creatures from the same planes. And your story only confirms and tells us the exact reasons what happened before Peyran unleashed his rage. I will not say that what he did in his berserk attack was right, but he did what he did. Still, it's a great loss for our nation and our people. And actually, and you notice how the Tiana is saying, it was a very interesting tale about the way how you approached the shackle spell on him. I would like to know more. And I would say if you actually can bring the skull back to our people, there is a hope among some of us that he may come back.
Oh. Guys, remember when we were talking about the zombie dragon? She's got the same
Zombie
idea.
dragon. Zombie dragon sounds better.
We will.
Well,
Why?
no zombie. We were not going to enslave
This-
him in after death.
That's it. That's thoughts, not spoken words. Those what I just said are also thoughts, not
Farveld
spoken
is all
words.
like, green energy and skeleton tattoos, eyes shining.
Necromancy.
like
No, not
like
me.
an image of a skeleton dragon appears in front.
I've heard of an old ritual, says Tiana, that with the assistance of our god creator, Persana, we may bring one of those ancient creatures back to the material plane. However, we would need their head for that.
Sounds like a god-granted wish spell or so.
Okay,
Anyways,
sounds like
interesting.
fun. We can do that after
Hmm.
some other main quest.
So Farwood gets very interested when she talks about that, and he leans a bit into the conversation and says, those are excellent news. Once we heard about the skull of our friend being on display, we actually were thinking about maybe taking it from there. It was not appropriate to be displayed in such a manner. And since Freythor was, he was very grateful that we could help him break his shackles. So he told us that he would come if we would call upon him in need. Unfortunately, we never got to use this offer of his, and we did not manage to get to him before he was eventually, as I believe, hunted down. But we would be interested to bring him back for sure, if we can. How
Well,
does this exactly work, if I may ask?
Well, that's part of the priesthood to the persona that gives the knowledge about the old ones and the creatures of the deep that I cannot share with you. But if you bring his skull to us, you not only will get his gratitude, but also of our people. And truth be told, this one says the Toman. Truth be told, if that will be done and initiated by our house, that also would be beneficial to us.
I respect your ways and the secrets inherent to the priesthood of
Persona.
Persona. I will not further inquiry, except maybe this one question, if you allow. We saw that Seitha was bound by some mark, or rather tattoo, on his skin.
Do you have an image of it by any chance?
I'd have to think about it. My memory is fractured more often these days. My Necron. But I will think about it if I can remember anything that would be of use to you. However, my question was regarding this tattoo. That was what bound him. Could the way you intend to bring him back also be based on such a sign or tattoo?
No, that's a foreign magic to what we use. That's probably a prerogative of warlocks to use this kind of means.
Do you think a warlock bound him?
Most likely.
Which warlock would possess this power?
Well,
I've never heard of such a thing.
I can only guess somebody who was a member of Unson family, if not himself, because he was doing the favors for them. They were controlling his will.
Last time we checked over, there was no warlock himself. But well, how would we know? Thank you. I'll think about your request and think if I can bring forth anything of use.
Notice how Tomon turns to Sas and says, Wizard Warrior.
400,000 gold, and we have a deal. And a ship.
Wait, I need to reload my... Okay, I should be back. Come on.
Let's think about it. I mean, so they will bring back a dragon. Dragon will be grateful. Plus, dragon owes us a favor. Double gratefulness from dragon. They will be grateful. Triple gratefulness. They will become more powerful. Maybe King of Tritons. Powerful gratefulness. So they'll be very grateful. Yeah, we need to negotiate that into more of a deal. That's right. But let's think about it. So we have lots of gratefulness. We just need to convert this into something we can use.
I was only curious in a friendly sparring.
That's gonna be 20,000 gold. I have my expenses, sorry. Traveling these days, inflation.
It's not a cheap one to spar with. No. Not anyone can spar with him.
Yes.
Sas, please roll for persuasion with disadvantage.
Everything I roll has -1. Well, 11, I think it was.
12.
12.
He says, I do not know the rates of the Swarm Masters on the land, on the Drylanders, but I could provide you 5,000 in gemstones for polishing and other means of keeping the sword in its condition. That's natural, of course. It doesn't need to happen now,
Yeah,
of course.
but I'm not gonna be fighting my full potential, you know. Just to let you know, for 5,000, it's gonna be very light and relaxing sparring. I can teach you some moves.
You know that's gonna be split,
Yes.
right? So
Well, you are talking to the slayer of the vampire lord and the killer of the dragon. No, that didn't happen.
Which
Of
dragon?
the ogre slayer, the Buramok killer,
Finger
and
eater,
the
yes.
vampire lord slayer. So yes, I have many titles, but for 5,000, if my captain allows, we can do a light spell.
Let me step in here for my friend a second. Farward says, "What a good man is. What a good man is trying to say is he appreciates your offer and he values it. Then again, you said 5,000 in gemstones. However, on the mainland, we possess a vast majority of gemstones. So the course is a bit different. It is more difficult to bring them forth underwater than on land. So I'm afraid we have this bit of a discrepancy here. So what would be worth for you 5,000 in gemstones in your realms would be more of a 7,000 equivalent on the mainlands.
Okay.
I was trying to be very convincing, and he
some
goes into
haggling
details.
here.
He goes into details about gemstones themselves because he's knowledgeable about that, and explains in which way there's like a discrepancy in perceived value. Being very polite about it.
Okay. You can, Polo, you can also roll for persuasion, just normal persuasion.
But there was Farward talking. Farward is the one knowing about the gemstones and stuff. He's more of an expert.
Meaning it really.
No, really, like I said, like Farward said. So can Farward roll for persuasion?
Yes, of course.
Okay. 27. That's because Farward has automatic advantage on persuasion rolls.
Or the new king of the Titans.
Wait, just asking, why do you have an automatic advantage?
I mean, let me check. Oh, sorry. Never mind. It is only with interactions with dwarves. My bad. So the other roll. So it was 2 rolls. One was 27. The other one was 21. I'm not sure what the ruling is. Wait, let me check what the order of the rolls was, and then we can take the first one. That would make sense, right? Where's the rolls channel?
Yeah, you tell me.
Actually, yeah, in the rolls channel we can see it. The first one was the 27 roll, because the way D&D Beyond does it, it always just crosses out the roll that doesn't count. So it looks like the first roll was the 27 one. But can you confirm that? I don't know if it changes orders with the valid roll. That I don't know.
Yeah, it will be just 27.
Okay, cool.
Well, hearing how you are describing this rates and conversion rates, you do catch him that he is not really into pricing and commodities exchange or trade. So this is a topic really far from his interests, and he's like, let it be. The 7,000.
Okay, that actually worked in my favor. Good.
Oh well, and he asked Sas aside to a different room.
So that was just for a sparring session, yeah?
Yes.
Out of in, I mean, obviously, for me.
What are the winning conditions or the losing conditions? Death, losing a limb? What is the losing condition?
What is happening?
Well, that's just a sparring. Every warrior knows what it is. Of course, rogues do not know what's that, and warlocks don't do sparrings.
Okay, so I'm not being part of this skull quest. Okay.
I just know we're getting like 7k worth in jewels, and Sas is going to another room with this warrior. Like that's all
Yeah.
I know.
The famous wizard wielding an axe.
What is
Wielding an axe, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
then I would like you to. Would you like to do the sparring now or later? Sas.
I just win. Come on, man. You're saying I can lose to a fishman, like with all my magic equipment. I
To a
can lose to a fisherman.
Okay. No, it will be just a pure couple of checks. Don't worry. So as he is getting into position and posture next to you, Sas, you start to wield this gigantic sword in your axe in your hands.
You'll never tell what it is.
Yeah, you can never tell what it is. Always changes. So I would like to ask you to roll for me. What would be a training role, like a teaching role, in terms of martial
Attack with
arts?
advantage.
How do you think? Huso, do you have advice? Maybe somebody has an advice.
It's an attack with advantage because it's a the moves are pre-calculated. It's not an actual life-threatening situation.
Well, that would work. Why not? Okay, let's just do the attack.
30.
That's if you have advantage. Okay, let's say you're fighting the shadow, your own shadow, so it's hard to miss your own shadow, right? So as you're wielding the sword, he seems mesmerized by the way how it pierces just the very essence of air in front of it. It makes this very light sound as the speed of your hits just so fast and insane. You realize that he's trying to imitate it with his own trident, but it uses quite a different techniques because the axe is kind of a slashing weapon aimed at cutting things a lot. Meanwhile, trident is mostly about stabbing, piercing things. So using very exact weapon of his, of course, he cannot exactly repeat after you.
Very advanced.
Yeah, so he is, of course, not really proficient with the weapon of yours, and in a proper fight, he would stand no chance in the current condition. You're just too good with your roll of 30.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also level 13.
Yeah, meanwhile, the priestess, the sister of his, is asking Rafe and Paul and Farwell to describe her the symbol that you've seen on Dragon's Head. And if you can recap it for her, any shapes of it. Just out of curiosity, of course.
Just out of curiosity. Sure. I think Farwell is really having a really tough time remembering the details, It's like... It's not like his deity is good for... I mean, yes, for memories, but also for madness, so...
Well, I think it was exactly Farwell, not Rafe, who was manually scrapping those scales, was it? Which were tainted with a tattoo.
Wow.
Rafe was conversing, and I think Farwell was the one scrapping it.
That could well be.
Yeah, because he has more experience with tattoos and stuff.
Yeah. Farwell.
But was he alive already? Did it happen after his resurrection, or?
Oh. No.
Yes.
No.
because it
Did it?
was you resurrected, and then we went immediately back to the Concordia wreck.
Yeah, you
Remember?
returned back
Fawad
to
was
the
there.
wreck site. Yes.
All right.
It was like a day or so, or 2 days
Or
or
less.
so after.
Almost immediate.
Yeah.
Well, as you're keeping this conversation with her, you're trying to recall the shape. You hear this clinging of the blades from another room. And at some moment, your opponent, Sas, is less agile as he's used to. He's used to fight in a different environment, of course. So at some moment, even a vase gets hit by he's been quite unused. Yeah, he stands no chance on the fair land against you. So after some moments, he says, well, your wizardry in your axe handling skills
Magic.
is astonishing. Yeah, it's pure magic.
Not even a fighter at all. As you can see, it's a pure magic.
Well, I have a great deal to learn from you, but of course, if you want to jump into the water, I could show you a couple of tricks. And he points at the pool. Would you like to?
It's like a hot jacuzzi, you know. Like just
Underwater fighting, you know? Would you like to attend?
no.
I think
no,
breathing is the key difficulty.
Well, it's okay if you decline. I understand that. And yeah,
my magic doesn't work underwater, unfortunately.
well, he is saying, you prove to be a great warrior, then here comes the payment. And he opens one of the pockets into his vest and starts taking out the jewels for you on the table. After that, you come back to the table, to the main room, and well, he's saying, it would be our honor to host you as long as you need for getting back to your senses after your crash landing, of course. Take as much time as you need, and we would provide you the transport to the mainland, above the water, whatever direction you're heading to. So just let us know.
I mean, how far away is the Denver Bay versus the dwarf kingdom?
As far as you remember your flying time, you only flew 1 day away from Denver.
So it is the same.
So
basically.
it's closer to
1.5
Denver.
day and 1 day.
It's a bit closer to Denver than to Volant.
Well, good. Captain, there's some jewels over there. I found some jewels. I left them on the
Yeah?
table.
You did?
Yes, money of
I
your
found the
life.
pirate chest. It was full of jewels.
Come on, I heard all of the negotiations before, so I know what it is. Should I keep them until we go in the mission?
Yes, you can keep them in your famous bag of treasures. that
Okay,
you're
Rafe,
carrying with you.
Rafe, you can add 7,000 gold to your character.
But
We can
Fawad
also already
helped
split it,
negotiate 2k on top.
All the questions to the
Everything to the
leadership,
captain. Yes.
to the manager.
But independent from that, like Fawad is, since he renegotiated the deal, he's surprised, that Sus gets 7k worth of jewels just for, showing the slashing skills with a sword. So he's like really looking at the captain. And
Well,
trying to
the
understand.
Edge of Stormire looks so magnificent and captivating for any warrior. That's no surprise.
But Does Farwood believe this Triton for his intentions to be true, or that there was any hidden motivation or so? And it seems like a very little effort for lots of money. That's why
Oh, Farwell can roll for insight if he wants.
he wants. So it's a crit. It's a 30.
So, okay, we have Sas today who rolls 1s and 3s, and we have Farwell who rolls 30s, yes? Well,
27.
It's a natural crit, like a natural 20.
well, so as far as you're trying to read his character, he seems to be, he strikes to you as a person who is captivated about the cold blades, about the weapons, melee weapons. Maybe he's a collectioner of swords. Maybe he is just a warrior who likes to seize other skills, and that's what he was interested in seeing in action. He realizes his weaknesses as a warrior, especially fighting on land. He knows his strengths. So for him, it does look like was an exercise worth his money, in his opinion.
He's very rich then.
And this money, at least the value in gems that he was providing, definitely wasn't making him a broke person.
Okay. Good ally to have.
What?
What?
Anything else I understand about him? You know, like it's a crit. It's a natural 20, like childhood traumas, or I don't know. it's a crit.
Okay, if you want to go wider than that,
Bank account amount, credit
Yes.
history,
Um,
recent transactions.
you do understand that the way how they handle each other in their proximity with his sister, that he is taking a lead in their relationship, and he's kind of taking care of her, like being in the front roles. However, she would be the one maybe serving as advisor, like a gray cardinal in their couple of theirs. So he would be the muscle, she would be the brain.
Okay, fair enough. That's important. We need to win her too. Farwood would spend the rest of the time thinking about why she would actually want this whole tattoo, and just understanding if she is, following a different plot which she's not revealing. But he would take his time to read her and get a better understanding while we keep on with the conversation and so on.
Well, since it's a conversation and we're talking about so much secret stuff, we can also talk about that, no? Directly.
She's the brains, so I would trust her less than the fighter guy. So,
But like as a casual topic. No? Okay. You already told him everything.
Farwood is just buying some time, trying to remember, painting stuff, crossing it out, and meanwhile, putting an eye on her and trying to read her, because he had this insight of their dynamic, and he knows that she's a centerpiece in this whole thing.
She does seem to be way more calmer than the brother of hers. She kind of reminds you of water. It's just like calm and goes. But you also know how dangerous the water can be, how crushing the tides can be when they're angry, when the sea is angry. So that all can be just a mask, of course. So she's not bothered by you making those steps and biding time. She is just showing her curiosity.
Ray,
Sas?
can I have you for a second? Can we And then forward, there's one thing I wanted to talk about. Can we?
Do you want your stones back?
No. So we go to the other sauna room.
Not very suspiciously, okay.
So, guys, what about we sell them the soul of the Duvalier, and then they will exchange the soul of Duvalier for the skull of the dragon themselves. So we will indirectly finish the quest right away without doing anything.
But you forget one thing, Sus. We
What?
would give
What?
up. We would give up on revenge. Howell says.
We already killed him. What do you want to do more?
We didn't kill him. We didn't touch him. We didn't touch one of his
Someone
hairs.
else did the job, right?
Well,
Imagine they have pity on him and then they set him free.
no.
How would they do that?
They can exchange him with the Duvalier. I mean, the Duvalier owns the skull. His house owns the skull. So if they want his soul back, the Triton people can trade with them, and our hands will be clean. No
Yeah,
one
but
will
they
suspect anything.
But
Pretty sure
the
they would
House
do
of
it.
Duvalier. Yes, what Rafe says.
It's easier to steal a small bottle of soul than a huge skull again. If we need the Duvalier again,
They will revive the Duvalier.
good.
He'll
Then we
come
kill
out
him
of this-
again
Yeah,
and steal again.
Yes.
Okay,
But
good.
we have to
then
find
no.
Bob to do it.
You then.
Well, you
Good,
could do
good.
that. You
Like,
have learned
understand
that the House of Duvalier and Son is quite powerful in reach.
Yes, but we don't want Duvalier to be resurrected, right?
Okay, so not Farward talking here. Let's say that's this Polo talking. That would make more sense. Like, but strategically speaking, we would give Duvalier back his life. We would save him. He would have to be maybe even grateful in a way. Certainly, his family would have to. Also, the dragon would be grateful, and the Tritons. Everyone would be
evil
grateful.
Fell from the
It is a-
sky. Pirate
It is a-
ship.
It's a triple win situation.
How do we make sure that he's not gonna get another dragon or the same dragon captive
No,
again?
it's
And
We can't, but this is not our business.
A small
But
trident
while-
people found the bottle in the ocean after the ship crashed, that was carrying an evil necromancer from a Danver. Fell from the sky, and then they found the bottle, and it turned out to be a soul of a Duvalier. Everyone's happy. Duvalier is
But-
alive. He owns
but he-
Triton. Triton gets back the dragon. Everyone owns us, everything. So
Just
everyone's
one
happy.
tiny detail.
What?
That the Duvalier just yesterday was last seen at his home, arriving home. Yes. This is where ritual
Nobody-
took place, yes.
Well, that was evil.
yeah,
Cult
because
of
somewhere,
the-
right? He leaves and goes all the time.
The problem is we
I
were
know.
also seen at Duvalier's home, I guess.
We were
So
chasing
maybe-
the evil necromancers.
Really?
But and imagine if we return and be like, "Oh, in case you wanted Duvalier's soul back, we found it.
In
What,
the ocean, yes.
We at his mansion yesterday before he disappeared." No. Okay, no, but
No,
didn't
we
tell
don't
the
know
people
if there are
that
any
saw us.
witnesses.
we give it to the Tridents. Tridents trade with the Duns family. We don't even need to do anything.
Okay, I
Yes, yes.
like that. I like that, but while Polo was, favoring the idea of playing the different parties in a way which is beneficial for everyone, you see like Farwald is, kind of leaning back, like kind of clenching the back of holding, where you assume that Duvalier's soul vial is,
True.
and you see he's not really convinced. The idea of revenge is strong in him for now. That's just maybe what you see as his reaction. He doesn't say anything.
Just a suggestion. Captain, it's your call.
I mean, we're still gonna try to do the skull thing, right? It still sounds easier than the ship, and the ship was successful.
I mean, bad things, Farwell says.
Because that's the thing. We
Waiting
still
until
wanted-
the warlock levels up and then some horrible things.
well, if a warlock can own a dragon, then I can't own Duvalier.
So yeah, Farward wants to keep it, but I don't see any
Just
practical
silence.
use.
No reward. Okay.
Well, while the brother and sister is in the room, you can strike this conversation. Otherwise, they would be leaving, and basically they're telling you they're gonna provide you a safe passage to land wherever you decide, whichever direction you want.
We want to leave to
So,
Bottom Kingdom, right?
so question to you: would you like to have any deals with them here and now, or you would like to just rest and then figure out where you're going?
How about we agree to try to bring the skull back by whatever means, and we decide on the go what the means are. But we can certainly, I mean, we kind of dig the cause, right? So if we manage to, we will certainly bring the skull back to them. That sounds like the right thing to do, right?
I mean, from their side, they do not see it as a hard commitment. Rather, like if you do it, that's great, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be grateful. Everyone's gonna be grateful.
Okay, then they wish you just having a good rest, and yeah, they would be sending you up after you having the long rest.
Like, upon walking out, Farwald is, like, remembering all of a sudden, and he's like, wait, I think that was the sign. And he tries to draw it.
Draw what? Are you drawing from deck of many things?
No!
Oh, George is a fool.
That was the sign.
It's like the DM waiting since 100 episodes for someone to say this word draw.
Well, I have actual deck of many things, and I want to use it, of
Paint.
course.
Paint.
Always heard
He's
every
painting
video.
this tattoo from the
We
dragon.
have Gaki, she can pull, We have Jackson. He has one hand.
Yeah, Jackson is rubbing his left hand, meanwhile, yes. Standing in the
he's-
corner.
So Farward is drawing this, and then once it's ready, he would hand it over to the sister, and say, "Here, I believe you will do the right thing with that knowledge. As it so happens, I would really be interested in understanding if you have any learnings from this sign, because I myself serve a contract I'm sometimes happy about and sometimes not. It would maybe help me a great deal in finding out about this. Let me know if you come across any worthful knowledge. I would greatly appreciate it."
She of course takes the drawing from you and kind of smiles politely and kind of like almost about to wink. And yeah, of course, that's most helpful. I will see what I can find. Maybe there will be something upon your departure. And she hides it inside of her vest and jumps right after her brother into the pool. As you turn around, Farwald, you meet the gaze of Gaki.
Yeah, of
Not
course.
giving me
Like
any
I should have seen this coming. Like a water priestess winking at me. That was no good idea.
Oh.
Yeah, she is silent, not saying anything.
Okay, so Farwald understands, and he's like, while walking out, pointedly, like walking next to her and, laying an arm around her, like a couple would do, displaying.
She stands like
allegiance.
this.
I
She
thought we
stands
walked.
like this. Well, you are in the 4-room apartment, basically. There is not much to walk.
I
Away.
thought the idea was while walking out and away from the priestess, putting an arm around Gaki, showing.
Yeah, you can do that. The priestess wouldn't see it already. So they're both gone, and the room is empty. Meanwhile, you can mark the long rest for all of you. And I think this is your first long rest since probably about 15 episodes. Since you started to chase Bob. Ah, wait, you had a long rest on the ship as well. Well, lucky you.
We did while we were still friends with the captain.
Still friends.
Still friends. Well, I think now would be a very good time for you as a part of your rest to actually go into the post-game discussion as you decide where you're actually going and what are you planning to do and how. As the Tritons promised you a safe and easy passage, any direction you would like to provide to them. So, yeah, I think, now we are moving into post-game discussion as real action won't be happening. Players will be in their rest apartments.
The captain decides.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear.
Captain.
And thanks, Huso, for staying with us. And happy to chat with you now more as the players are going to plot against everybody. And we can hear what they think. So, Captain Rafe.
Okay.
Yes.
So we only have an option, right? I didn't hear about any other options. Nobody was complaining or saying maybe we could also go there. So we have to go to the Valen Kingdom, right?
It sounds good. It sounds well. Okay, but now there's the question with the skull.
Yeah, no. But that's like coming back, and then whatever we did so far and the knowledge we got, it's gonna be lost, and it's gonna be too late to try to cover those places. Otherwise, the ship was like a waste of time.
No,
with Bob and everything. Sas fault, but yeah.
I would say it was quite a waste. Like, at least we made 7k gold in terms of jewels so far.
For no reason, yes.
And we are starting to forge probably good alliances. No, but like on another note, I just wanted to say, like, this whole thing with the Duvalier's soul, like, I really liked the idea, of kind of making every side happy and still having this win-win-win situation. Like, Paulo really likes that. It would be like a strategic must move if it works. But Farwald, as a character, cannot just be like, yeah, sure, here, I released Duvalier's soul after he's been looking for revenge for such a long time. So I'm just saying, if we want to go for the win-win-win situation, Farwald does need good reasons. He needs a bit of convincing. I'm not saying it's impossible or so, but like trying to stay true to the character. He can't be just okay with that. Just as information in terms of deciding what to do.
Well,
but why do you need his soul? Like, what are you gonna do with it? You cannot torture a soul. You can torture Duvalier if he's alive.
I mean, you cannot torture.
They can resurrect him for you. It's a soul. It's immortal and just sits there. Doesn't do anything.
I mean, I guess Farwald is still really looking for revenge, and he'll find a way to torture the soul. Or bring the soul back to life and torture it then. Or, I don't know, banning Duvalier in a very powerless construct. Or owning Duvalier by the same means another warlock owned the dragon, because there was new information that it was warlock magic. Make him a slave for life. or beyond.
Well, you want to turn him to undead slave?
Whatever. I'm
Like
just
you
saying,
did with-
Zombie
Farvold
somewhere on the bottom
Farvold
of the sea
has
still.
possibilities. Like it's. And Farvold is looking for revenge. And don't forget, in Acreon, like he's getting closer to madness and that stuff. So he needs a very good reason to just let go of that soul.
Like if we have the Triton people, then we have a free motorboat every time on the ocean. We don't need to look for any sky ships. We don't need to rent any boats. Like we just come to the shore, we ring the bell, and the boat arrives.
We need to make
If
sure that
we
that
get
really
the
is the
Triton.
truth, because it could be just this one time thing to leave. Or like,
if we
oh,
help
can
them,
we
they
contact
will.
you if we need you? If we, yeah. Are we gonna say that at the end when we part ways?
No, they will not. Why would they help us? We didn't do much. We just got the free passage for free to our destination, but it's a one-time use. But if we bring back the dragon, I think it's gonna be unlimited Uber over the sea.
You're saying that that's what you want to do next.
Would come in handy when we are fighting with evil army of the evil constructs. But no, we can go to Volant also.
Yeah, because we know that these people are there now. We don't know where they're gonna be in.
We know the
20 years.
address of the warehouse where the ship's supposed to be unloaded. So the warehouse is not gonna disappear in one day. Or the people who are building robots, they're not gonna lose their job in 2 days. They're still
Rachel
building
might be
robots.
already.
Yeah, they might already assemble some robots. Because we're gonna be late by 2 days. They're gonna build more. Well, your call.
I mean, having the Tritons on our side, if it comes to the final or a big clash with the Equalizer, might be very helpful, because it could well be that it turns into some kind of war situation. And if we have the Tritons fight for our cause, that would mean sea control. That is strategically superior. And I'm sure Equalizer will not be by himself. So if we think about I don't know, what is that? Geo-military aspects, that would be great to have. Yeah. And I really like the idea of, just playing it like pro Tritons and, kind of dealing in Duvalier's soul, and then maybe he will be grateful to us too. And I'm just saying, you need to convince Farvold, whatever way. I don't care. I like both outcomes. It's just you need to.
I wanted to
give
ask
all the
questions to the dragon. I wanted to ask dragon who was fighting the war, because he's old enough to remember that shit.
That's correct.
Good
who's
point.
the actual sides?
That's correct.
Who won? So cause now we only heard it from the
Grasus Vado.
equalizer.
Yes.
And the dragon can tell us, alternative version of whatever happened.
That's a really good point.
Things like that.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I also think reviving a dragon or so, and a very old one at that might also be very interesting for Rafe's family plot, because she's an ancestor of the dragons, right? What could the dragon tell her? Or, I don't know, maybe help her unlock the next level, getting in touch with her dragon ancestry or so.
Maybe you have the mega book and the priestess can decipher it for you. The mega book that you have. Because she knows some stuff. She knows something with the dragons, how to resurrect the dragon, which is not the common knowledge. But yeah,
I would
Captain
be all
decides.
down. I would be all down to play it like we trade in Duvalier's soul, and I can play Polo in a way that he will support this idea. It just needs some convincing of Farwald, some good convincing, so that the character, I mean, the character cannot break under the plot, even though it's a cool plot. Like, we need it to
Rafe
make
just
sense of
orders him
Farwald.
as a party leader. He just tells them, "Give me the
Yeah, we're
Duvalier
gonna
soul."
have an enemy again. So we had one less. We're gonna
Maybe
have
not.
He's like
the
level
same as
7.
yesterday.
Maybe he built like in the end, like Draco Malfoy at the end of the Harry Potter saga. It's like he hates Harry Potter, but somehow he owes Harry Potter, so he's like, okay. That kind of
Did you
Duvalier I
guys
could
see that
imagine.
his family actually had to do with the equalizer and stuff?
Oof. Maybe.
But now
it's
he
not
will
far.
know that he was killed by electrolyzers. So this could be even become an ally.
But
Yeah, actually, that is
actually,
twisted.
So those guys kidnapped you. We saved you, and the Triton people
We-
together.
Even though you killed me, Farwald says.
do we know for sure what he remembers when he
Farwald should
is
know.
resurrected?
He's a soul capturing guy.
I mean,
Well,
I think that Bob didn't
Bryn
like
kinda
turn
knew.
into me because
The Bryn resurrected, and then she remembered everything.
But once Bryn was resurrected, she remembered what happened right before her death. And then, yeah. Other than that, once she was on a different plane, nothing
It's
much.
a perfect. His hidden love, aka Rafe, saved him from the evil necromancer.
it's not hidden love. We just danced once.
He
But
was
afterwards
hidden
we
on you,
became
and you
friends.
saved them. It's a perfect. Everything matches.
I mean, I don't care if you're fine with having him again. It's fine.
like, Farwald is not fine. But me personally, I'm fine.
Well,
Polo
since
is
you're
fine.
more polo nowadays.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm in both their heads. Or the other way around, I don't know.
Rafe
Yeah,
decides. Rafe, she can say, no, we're going Volant.
Everyone wants to do these skull soul things. What can I do?
It's a bait by DM. He's
It's
just
fine.
like,
That's
here's some
democracy.
gold. He's
The
a
majority, right? Is 2 versus
You can
1.
resurrect a
2
dragon. It sounds
wins.
so epic. He's biting us.
Yeah, but like in the first place, I was just grateful that the dragon didn't kill us. So I was
Yeah,
never like, oh,
good.
he's an ally. No, it's like, okay, we can just escape. He can escape. Everyone's happy. But
He was an ally. Remember that he offered
yes,
us
yes,
his
yes.
help and support, like when we
Yes,
need
kind
him.
of,
We
but
need
it was
but
always
call.
very intimidating. It was like at any point
It's
he's just gonna like,
dragon.
yeah, but it never
Or-
counted on it like a weapon, like
yeah, he would
emergency
one shot
situation.
all of you. Just one
Yeah.
spell.
No.
Yes.
He's like level 20, you say?
He's like a
Can you see his
grandfather.
size?
I can send
Opponent.
his picture to you if you would like to. Here's
One
his
shot.
picture in Maps and Lore.
Like I'm just thinking like, what does
Triton,
Farwald-
champion of the deep, Coral Sea Dragon.
Champion of the Deep sounds like, you are the champion of Anachron, and he's like champion of the Deep.
It's not a guy.
That's a big one. So
The Deep.
I'm just thinking, if you want to convince Farwald that it's a good idea to give the soul of Duvalier, I help you. Like I'm already digging into Farwald's psychology.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
look.
As long as you don't steal anything, I'm fine.
Maybe a soul, but no kidding.
That's okay. Nobody will know.
Can you
Yeah,
actually
thanks.
resurrect the Duvalier by yourself?
Give me wish
Can you,
spell,
like-
easy.
We can actually bring back alive Duvalier and not the bottle of shampoo, with the label on it.
Bottle of shampoo.
Duvalier.
Duvalier and Co. Bottle of shampoo.
I mean,
Smells like Duvalier, but it's not quite
You don't
him.
have resurrection.
like the
right?
Duvalier,
No.
we're gonna brainwash him with us, and then we're gonna send him back, and he's just gonna give us the scroll right away, plus 1 million gold.
I was thinking about money, really.
Or he doesn't
Okay,
remember.
So I'm not
I
suggesting.
thought I thought you
Main
meant
quest.
everything because we're thinking about alliances for a future war, right? No, it's
Duvalier
money.
in alliance, Tridents in alliance, old Mega Dragon in alliance.
Wars cost money. We need money too.
Elor? Templars?
Battle War.
Maybe.
Oh,
Are
for
they in
resurrection.
alliance? Are
What-
they in
what do you mean
alliance?
alliance?
That
What do you
is
mean
very
alliance?
conflicting.
Sneaky Battalion in alliance?
No,
We don't
it's
need
not.
those.
Sneaky
level
Battalion could be, technically,
No,
yeah.
no. Against Rave's interest. No.
Causus people? Raves people?
Who are Kothos
Maybe,
people?
but without
again?
cost.
Kirinal druids in alliance?
The Kosu people are like, they are silent assassins, they pretend to not be, but as soon as like Rave says kill them all, they just, listen and run. They're like hidden agents basically in every place.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we have some tieflings. The Kirinal people are also alliance because that's why we gave them money.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
You see, it's about money.
But it's not always getting money. Sometimes it's giving it.
But you need to have it to give it.
I don't know how Father has it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's.
There was a robe of anti-mage or something like that for
Let's
40k
go for the skull.
in the shop.
Ocean? The what?
A robe of anti-mage or something, or arch-mage. I still remember pretty cool items back in Denver. That's the only reason we need gold.
Inflation.
Oh,
Ah,
no,
you
the
think
40K?
fuck? It's gonna be 400 though.
I mean, there's
Did you-
inflation, then there's inventory updates, then different meta.
Well, focus on first your next move.
Yeah, DM,
Oh.
what should we do? Tell
Well-
our captain.
I mean, I cannot tell you, but it's generally interesting and logical move. As Rave says, if you want to build alliances for a future war, that's always a good thing.
So yeah, skull plus soul exchange. So we're gonna go back to Denver, basically.
But Thawald is holding Duvalier's soul, and
Okay, we're gonna have a philosophical talk to Farland. Or someone's gonna get the soul somehow. Distracting someone. I don't know.
I don't
Not
know.
me,
Maybe,
not me.
maybe in this case, I shouldn't be the one to play Thawald, because if I also
too
play
good in
Polo,
Thawald,
then I
so-
have to argue with myself. That's maybe not so cool. I can do that, but it's maybe not so cool for everyone.
You leave it.
I
to
mean,
the
I
roles,
can
right?
be Farveld. His main, his main grudge. What is his main grudge against Duvalier, and why would he want the revenge?
so
His main grudge is that he was killed, basically
That's not
by
that
the
easy.
dog. By the dog.
Yeah. So it is okay. So I explain. So yes, of course, in the first place, he was kind of killed by Duvalier. He knows that
Yes.
it was kind of, and he knows
Kind
that
of.
kind of it was also Rave. But he needs to channel this aggression, and this goes into Duvalier. Duvalier
Yes.
is a bit of a scapegoat as well. But on top of that, Duvalier took his body, was performing strange experiments on his body.
He was not about experiments, but he was actively studying your tattoos.
Okay, Okay,
And
fair.
it's not
Oh God,
him,
he
it was
taking...
the women. It was
No.
And
the
it
wizard.
was Diana as a wizard. He was,
Now
He was
Farward
just hosting it on the
understands.
ship.
yeah, he was hosting it on a ship.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
not a
but-
wizard.
But Farward now understands because, like, over the tattoos, Duvalier or Diana or one of them controlled the dragon. So probably they were trying to maybe even control Farward too. So Farward has this grudge against Duvalier. But on top of that, you know, believing in Anachron and all of that and descending into you know, darkness and a bit of madness, and you could notice Farward was getting more and more cruel. That is definitely, like, this madness aspect is also part of that, which comes from Anachron. Plus, in this whole process, Farward is kind of more and more losing his humanity because he's becoming more and more undead.
He's getting more darker. Yes, he's getting
Yes,
more darker.
Yes. So he's drifting away from humanity. So, and this, yeah,
You should resurrect Duvalier, put him under your control, and then we release him back into Dunmer. And
I need to
you
level
will be
up
happy.
How do you do that? How do you put someone under your
Well,
control?
you are the necromancer. So you will get your revenge, you will control him, and we will get all the benefits of controlling the whole family.
that would be the perfect solution for the party in terms of benefits, but I'm not sure how many more levels Farward needs. He just found out that a warlock somehow probably eventually can do that at some point. That would take, I don't know, like 4 level
not
ups or
there.
more. I'm just
Maybe
saying,
the
like,
Triton people can do it, but okay. That
Like-
will go for it.
like maybe to find an angle on Farward would be to, you know, he's losing his humanity. Maybe you need to appeal to his humanity. What is the thing that makes Farward most human at this point? He lost his family. He's out for revenge. I don't know.
His
He
power
Gaki?
sold his soul for power.
Gaki is one of his anchors.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Over
No, it's
Gaki.
Parvam's shield. It's not the Gaki.
So basically, you save Howard's relationship, he'll give you Duvalier's soul.
We need a rave specialist for this
Rave.
operation.
You have
That's
time
the
to
time.
speak with Gaki, yes. You saw him. You saw her reaction on this wink from the sister.
Also, maybe it would
She
be
was
good
out of
to-
rehab recently, you know? So it was a long distance relationship for some time.
She is weak emotionally, right? So
She is flammable emotionally, as any fire genasi.
Also, like another aspect, maybe if you think about it, like Farward really wants bad for the soul of Duvalier. But if he does that, like if he finds a way to torture this soul, I don't know, make it a soul slave, whatever, that would push him even deeper into darkness, closer to Anachron, closer to madness, and all of that stuff. So maybe it's also about thinking about Farward as a character. Do you want him to fall down? Which is okay
Yeah.
if you want to, yeah? I'm just saying it. Do you want him to get closer back to humanity and stopping this dehumanization process? Which
This
he's
is very
doing?
cool. As a DM, I'm here. This is really cool angle. I really like what you are saying, Gerhard.
At the same time, you can just say, okay, cool, we can have a demon Farward in the party. Like he'll be strong, right? It's another plot line. It's perfectly
Have like a
possible, and every plot line is
Psychopath in the
interesting.
party. Just
It
gonna
is
keep
super
him on
interesting.
drugs, on the relaxant, all the time.
Playing a demon killer vengeance Farward is also fun. Like I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like you can kind of decide which way you want to push the character development by
I would push him to the demon. That's more interesting.
we don't
as you
want more
like.
demons.
As you like.
We
Also
need to
screw-
fight demons with demons, you know. We have Electrolyzer, which is fucking no one knows
He
what,
said
and then we have
that
Farward.
demon.
There's another crazy thing.
It's not like he's gonna lose his necromancy spells because he's becoming a bit nicer.
Yeah, he keeps them, so.
That just, you know.
Well,
Okay,
Well, I mean,
what does this... I tried to take
that's-
myself out of the equation. I'm too biased.
that's everything is
You
cool
guys.
what you're saying. As a DM, I like both outcomes. The only problem as a DM I have is you being both Farwelt and Polo. So
Yeah,
arguing
that
with
is why
yourself, that's
No. I
hard.
wouldn't.
One of them needs to kill another one.
I just
Only one
gave
remains.
input, and I think the rest is for the rest of the party to decide. I'm too biased.
It's too complex. This input is too complex for us.
Okay, you can simplify it. You can simplify it. Like, you can break it down into something less complex. I'm just saying
It's
there are
vote,
layers of complexity.
democracy, and yes, the soul has to be exchanged.
But
That's
how... Okay, but how do you make Farwell give you the soul without fighting him? Like, if he really doesn't want to.
Why did he keep it in the first place? Like, did it make any sense that he would keep it?
He was taking the soul because once it was open information, he was making very sure to keep it.
But we always talked about sending it back. We never spoke about keeping it, and we did it together. We always said, yeah, we're gonna send it to the father, we're gonna ask for a lot of money, like a letter coming from nobody. We have the soul of your son. If you want it back, give us, I don't know, 300K, I don't know. And then we were like, yeah, we can build a ship with that. We all talked about that. Like, to come now that you were always like never giving it. From the beginning, it was clear that we were gonna exchange it.
Yeah, I'm just sharing Farwell's motivation with you, and I mean, you can do whatever. You can maybe even steal
Farwell
this
is
thing
not-
from Farwell.
Farwell is not motivated by monetary means. That's not what he thinks about. Gold and... Oh. He is a revenge seeker.
We're not really traveling for Farrell's revenge, right? We have another goal.
Farwell's main motivation is revenge since day one. Revenge is what keeps him going to go against Equalizer. So he's a revenge-driven person. That's a different revenge, right? But still, same motive. But yeah, like, you have big influence on Farwell now. Like, whatever way you want to push him, there are many options.
We're a lot simpler than him, that's the problem. We're a lot simpler than him.
Well, then also make a simpler decision then. Out of 2.
Steal
Yes.
or fight or what?
I mean, you can try to convince Polo to steal it, which would be way easier. Let's say it would simplify the whole decision process.
And that would also make a conflict between Polo and Farwell.
If Farwell finds out. But what Farwell will for sure notice is that the soldier is gone.
If something's gone, everyone will just immediately blame Polo. Like, it's
Maybe.
it's a fact.
Don't make me kill my own characters, come on.
Yeah, that's the thing. And
Yeah, and it
don't
wasn't
like
even me, you
conflict.
see? It wasn't even me.
I know.
I don't like high conflicts. That's what I try to avoid. Well, except
Okay.
yeah, but yeah.
That was the idea, you know. You appeal to, however, to Farwell's humanity. a simple way to do that would be maybe over Gaki. But maybe there are other ways. I don't know. You're a diplomat, right? You're a persuasive diplomat.
Wait. Farvelty wants to revenge his family, not his death.
Both.
Everything else, like
No, we
anything bad that
found
happens to him,
you.
he wants revenge.
We found you on the road when you said your family was killed from the north. So you want to revenge Electrolyzer, not Chevalier directly. So give us the soul and we will revenge the Electrolyzer.
Okay, actually that makes
So
sense. You know,
so you want
Chevalier
to,
you already killed.
out
That
of
was
two
a really good
revenges,
idea, like,
you
that was
point
really
him at a bigger revenge, bigger goal. Yes, that's what you're trying to say.
Yes, more insanity needed.
So
yeah, you just show him how this revenge is blocking him from his main motivation. That's actually good. You know?
yeah, that's a fine point. Yes, that's what
Yeah, that
Gerhard was
works.
looking for, just for argument. So here's the argument. Is Farvelt ready to give the soul?
Wait, what was your point? Like, I mean,
God of madness.
To defeat the
So the
equalizer,
point-
we need that soul, basically.
Yes, it was gonna make it simpler. Yes.
Unless Farwell has a new plan that is
Like
even better.
revenging your dear ones is always more satisfying than revenging your own death. You know, it's more
okay.
tragic. So revenging for your family is more satisfying.
That's what they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, simplifying the whole conversation. Farwald asks, why can't he have both revenges?
We have no time for both.
Never works. No.
You can have one really, really sweet revenge or two mediocre revenges. What did you choose? So that's why you should collect the power of the revenge, you know, for one really big revenge rather than two average ones.
But it's not how revenges work, right? And it's like the only thing we're waiting for
You
is
know,
Bob saying it's
once you will
starting.
taste the revenge, you know, the second revenge wouldn't taste as good as the first one. You know, you need to flavor the first revenge, which is against the electrolyzer. If you will revenge against the Valier, they will be like, yeah, what do I do now? You know, you lost interest in revenging.
Okay, let's say it like this. I think what would make sense for Fowl big time is that actually following this senseless, useless revenge of the Duvalier path will only throw him deeper into this, I don't know, madness and dehumanization, which is actually driving him away from the initial motivation he has, which is rooted in his family. That's maybe something that makes sense to follow. And let's say Gaki also appeals to his humanity and is like, okay, fine. But don't expect me to not kill him once he's back.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, didn't we want to? Oh, whatever. It comes later.
Okay, he hands over the jar to Rave. In her bag of holding again.
Bag of treasures, we don't need that. Yeah.
Unlimited bag of treasures.
Okay, so that part of is decided. Then what about the... Which direction are you going? What do you do? And how do you do it?
We're gonna go to Denver, right? Back to Denver. No?
Wait, we wanted to go to Volan Kingdom and we could go to the capital? Or we could go to this other place to destroy the...
You don't know where the
infrastructure.
other place is. You have no traces.
The Rave can give the shampoo bottle to the Tridents and they will deal with the skull themselves. They will negotiate, they will hand over, they will get the skull. This is no longer our problem. Or unless you want to do
Is it? I mean, of course, it'll be better because they're less known than we are, right? We are really enemy number one in a way.
Yeah, we don't need to do any explaining. Just the Triton people comes out of the water and says, give me skull for the Duvalier's shampoo.
And if the
that's it.
dragon comes back, let us know somehow.
I mean,
Yeah, let the dragon
I'm
know
like-
that it was us, actually.
I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but what if that starts a war? Because Duvalier family will be like, how did you get the soul of our, I don't know, head of our family? And they'll be like, well, we don't know, just give us the skull because you killed our dragon. And then they're like, no, give us a soul. No, give,
The super
Lust.
evil dark wizard ship crashed on our very sacred island, and it was a god will that this bottle lands exactly below the totem. It
Sounds plausible.
landed. Yes. So
like
I don't know.
if we don't take responsibility for what happens, then we also don't get the praise out of it. Let's say it works, and then who should thank us? Dragon gets survived, and it's like, well, I got survived by my people. Great. They are like, okay, Tritons would be the only ones who would remember what we did, maybe.
Captain's call, Captain.
Yeah, I mean, your point of view was that if we do this, then we have an alliance forever, and then we have like free services on every port.
Could happen.
But then it was if we do what? If we give them their soul, or if we do the whole thing ourselves, the soul exchange and getting.
From my side, it's exactly the same outcome. The dragon is alive. Dragon owns us. Tritons own us.
That's the thing.
They align.
The dragon doesn't know that he owns us because he's not gonna know that we had to do with
Triton's
this
gonna
deal.
tell them.
I think
knows that?
we have different layers of complexity of this task. Let's say we want the max out of it. We want Dragon
if
to
you
be
want-
grateful.
If you want all three of them, that makes sense that you should be on the first row in all three things.
Exactly. Like, we need to give the soul to the Duvalier family. Duvalier family is thankful to us. We take the skull by whatever means, bring it back to the Tritons. They are happy. They tell the dragon that they're happy. Dragon's happy with us. Everyone happy. But we need to be everywhere and do it. Let's
Captain's
say,
call. Yeah.
To be
like, we
everywhere.
can save time by making less parties happy. And it's either this or we destroy the robot factory of Equalizer.
Which you don't know where it is.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's... Yeah, okay.
We kill
don't-
everyone in the Volon Kingdom. They are all corrupted. Heretics.
Well,
Not so big,
That definitely will not start a war. Yes.
Leave no witnesses.
Spoken like a true elf.
I mean, no one cares. They're living there on the mountain. We have a friendly dragon, ocean between us.
Okay. Yeah, but I think that's what it comes down to. Like, do we go for step 1, step 2, step 3? Step 3 takes the most amount of time. And then we need to understand how much time would it maybe take and how much time do we have. We don't have a clear deadline, so it's like a rough estimate. Would it take too long? Would it not? So, and we don't have clear indications from Bob. He just says, like, I'll tell you when it's ready. So yeah, I think it's just like deciding, do we go for level 1, 2, 3, basically? 3 being most reward, but also most time. I think each one can work well. I'm okay with whatever decision.
Yeah, I just want the dragon, actually. I don't care if we are super allied with them. We can
So
talk to
if-
dragon either way.
That
He
means
still
we need to
owns
get the
us
skull.
from his past life. Even if we're not the one resurrecting him, he still owes. If you want to do a lot of talking and social and maybe kill more of Duvalier parents, then we can go in person. Or maybe you can marry him, they will resurrect and then wedding.
Level 4 of the plot.
And you take over
That's
the
level
whole
4.
family.
What?
Level 4.
Yeah.
No. No, just discard that one.
4. уровень сумрака.
Yes.
So, well, that could be
You can
interesting.
marry Duvalier and get, done with citizenship. Being a
Oh
tiefling.
my gosh.
Double citizenship. Double passport.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry for the pun.
Come on.
No, I'm gonna get it on my own. I'm
Well,
doing quest.
in terms of content, as you say, correct. First, you would need to do some social persuasion for the family if you have the soul. Then the transportation is, in that regard, probably is not really even your problem. Depends how you negotiate. And as per third part about the dragon ritual, yeah, that will be another thing.
So sounds like a week. of
I mean,
activities.
that sounds at least like 3 sessions to me. So,
Captain's call.
I think it's gonna be hard, the part of the Valier. I still think that the skull is easier. Even if
stealing
it's-
the skull is is an option. From the port where it just stands there exposed,
Okay, but
We
we
have
wanna
a
go with
wand of size alteration, and we have a bag of hold. Boom, boom. And in the
That's-
bag.
Yeah, I was also
The
thinking
want of
about that, but
It's just a minute, right? We know what happens after.
Yes.
Enough
Yes.
space in a bag.
it's a limited volume it can take.
Don't
Oh.
tell us there will be the whole, epic of how do we transport it.
Well,
Oh my god, deja
Like
vu.
throw for
Yeah.
athletics, roll for stealth,
And the end will
Can
just
we-
leave it.
Can we just
you know?
buy a scroll of like teleportation of objects or something? Is there something?
Yeah,
like that?
teleportation circles.
if we are smart, yes.
telekinesis could work.
No,
but
teleportation
it
circle.
will be
Come
visible.
on.
That's the problem. We will not be. Hey, we just have a skull with us. No, it has to be teleported somewhere. Like, it has to disappear.
So the logistics, the Tritons want us to succeed in this, right? So it's fair if we ask them for input. Maybe they have like some cool magic item, like a extended bag of holding, like the one bag of holding.
That's no problem.
Well, wait, guys, please focus first. What are you doing? Just tell me the
Brave
directions.
decides. Brave.
Rave.
Brave.
Which
Leader.
way the party goes? Are you going with the
Captain.
negotiation with the soul? Or are you going with actively delivering the skull by your own means? No negotiations.
We first need to talk if we have a way to move the skull easily. If not, we just negotiate.
Well,
Because we already saw what happened last time.
Well, so which one of the ways you planning to go? Because I need to know for it to prepare.
We
Is this
wanted
not a free
to
world?
ask the Tritons about the teleportation possibilities they might offer, if there are any.
Whatever
That
they
will
can
really
help
help.
us to move that skull.
Yes.
Maybe they
Yeah,
already
we
have
will-
plans.
So then I
Yeah.
will simplify it for you. Teleportation of such a magical big object won't be possible. You need to physically move it.
Can they help us with that?
They could.
Then
Yes.
How?
That's up to you. Depends on your plan.
So we have to come up with a solution.
Well, they have the the manpower.
Fair enough. They're organized.
I need a way
They
to
have
make
people.
it. No, to make it smaller for a longer time. To actually take it from the place where it is until some place where it's already safe, and afterwards it's fine. It doesn't have to be the final destination.
DM, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What about a true polymorph spell on the skull?
Does it say it's supposed to be a creature? Or it can be any object?
Any object. That's a true polymorph. It's a level 9 spell, but
But
it works on objects. You can even turn creatures into objects, like in the other way
Yes.
around.
yeah, creatures into objects, but other way around to make them alive? Not sure. Wait.
Can you not just reverse a polymorph spell like a true?
You
like,
choose one creature with at least one hit or non-magical object.
I
You transform the creature into a different creature, the creature into an object, or the object into a creature.
It just flies on its own. Like
So it should be a non-magical object. So at this specific moment, I would count that's a magical skull. You know, that's of an ancient dragon.
Even if dead?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a question. So if you create a zero magic field, there was the spell, right? That every magic cannot. Would the skull be destroyed, or how does it work?
I want you to do that next to the skull. Yes.
No, but I'm just curious out of mechanics. Would
Sounds-
the skull
sounds like
crumble?
not
Or...
to that.
Well, as Sas said about the bag of holding, why did I tell you what's gonna happen if you size alterate and put it in bag of holding? I'm not gonna tell you what happens now with it. But it's an interesting way of thinking, nonetheless.
How big is the skull? It's like 5 by 5 or 10 by 10?
It's something 5 by 5.
I mean, based on the picture, it's about as big as a ship with 2 masts.
No, 5 by 5 is a human size, basically.
Okay.
Wait.
5 meters by 5.
Ah, not 5.
What were you talking about? You was talking about feet?
Okay.
In feet, it's what?
No,
15
I
times
can't
15?
think on
I
feet.
don't
Like who thinks on feet? Like where are we?
I don't know.
We use
D&D.
meters.
D&D.
Yeah.
5 feet is
No,
a
but
human.
we-
Is meter
I don't
is 6.
understand feet.
Okay, 5 humans.
5 human size.
Well, that's... Well, okay, anyways, it's big and heavy.
5 polos. No, okay, maybe 10 polos.
7.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
So
just
moving
fake the
this now-
documents that we are taking it for renovation. You know?
Okay,
We just
so
bring it to the
I will
ship
be
and sail
stopping
away.
the stream in this moment. And I want to thank you everybody who joined today and who might watch it in future on our YouTube channel. Today we got 2 followers. So great thanks to Husa101 for joining and actually staying for most of the stream and chatting. Yes, and the second name I do not remember, but I will find it later. And I hope to see everybody in the next week in the World of the Year.